Sam Ratigliano, first-year coach for the Browns. Only the 4th coach in Cleveland Browns history. Make that 5th behind Brown, Collier, Skorich, and Gregg. His team is 3-0 against the Steelers head man Chuck Noll. 10th year, 46-year-old Noll has his Steelers in the playoffs 6 straight times. He's going for an unprecedented 7th. Roy Gerela to kick it off to the Browns. Tom Sullivan and Larry Collins are deep. That's Sullivan, the ex-Eagle. 1 yard deep. And he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The tackle made by Sidney Thornton, running back. As they go into the huddle, the Cleveland Browns quarterback, Brian Sipe from San Diego State, Mike Pruitt, and Cleo Miller, the running backs. Wide receivers, Dave Logan, all-purpose wide receiver, the brilliant rookie tight end, Ossie Newsome, out of Alabama, and Reggie Rucker, who has led the Browns in receiving yardage the last 3 years. And he's off to a good start, 11 catches, 3 touchdowns. High above Three River Stadium, first play from scrimmage, the Browns' 23-yard line. And a surprise in the backfield is 23, Larry Collins. That's Newsome, the tight end in motion. Sipe falls down. No contact, so he's alive. Intercepted. Johnny Shell, the strong safety from South Carolina State, ducking in front of the intended receiver, and the Steelers have the ball on the first play of the game.
Oh, what a big break for the Steelers. Sipe tripping apparently on that carpet, which is a little rugged. Watch him here. Looks like he just hooked his foot, goes to the ground. It's amazing that somebody didn't tag him while he was there. Everybody just kind of stood around, breaks to the outside, and then makes the mistake of throwing into the area where Donnie Shell was waiting. That's a shame. Logan unable to get his hands on the ball. Big turnover.
First down for the Steelers at the Cleveland 37-yard line. Bradshaw going to throw on first down. Plenty of time. Can't find Lynn Swann crossing at the 15. Bradshaw, number 1 in the NFL in passing, and there's no one even close to him in the first 3 games of the season. He's hitting 63.4%. He has Rocky Bleier, Franco Harris, a double-pronged running attack with John Stallworth off to a fine start. The big tight end, Benny Cunningham, maturing in his 3rd year in the league, and the scintillating Lynn Swann on the outside. Donnie Shell with the interception for the Steelers, his first of the year and his 7th in the career with Pittsburgh. 2nd and 10 play from the 37. That's Harris. And the Steelers have been doing that, Erlen, running when the opposition looks for the pass.
Certainly have, and Harris is as good as anyone when it comes to going up the middle. They said they were going to try. Here's the Pittsburgh offensive line. We'll talk to you later about that. But John Cove, Sam Dingamus, fine center Mike Webster, Moon Mullins, and Larry Brown. Good offensive line.
Interesting that the Steeler offensive line has been outstanding, opening the holes for Harris and Bleier and protecting Bradshaw, yet they've not had a Pro Bowl offensive lineman in 10 years. Bradshaw, lots of time. Wide open is Lynn Swann, first and goal at the 5-yard line. Great protection for Bradshaw. Tony Peters made the tackle, and Swann has the Steelers down at the 6.
Let's watch it again as you see Bradshaw going back. I don't think Bradshaw really wanted Swann on this one. He's looking away at Stallworth's side all the way. Can't get Stallworth, looks inside, and Swann has just walked away from Tony Peters, number 20, and is wide open on the 5.
They spot the ball at the 6-yard line, first and goal. Franco Harris outside. And pinned for a loss at the 9-yard line. Fine play by Charlie Hall, number 59. 235-pounder out of the University of Houston, where he was recruited as a basketball player.
Let's take a quick look at the defensive line for the Cleveland Browns. 64, Turkey Jones, Earl Edwards, Jerry Shirk, the fine pro, rounding back into shape, and Mac Mitchell, number 70.
And they're skyscrapers. We'll have more on that later.
And the linebackers, Charlie Hall, Dick Ambrose, Bam Bam Ambrose, and Gerald Irons on the outside.
2nd and goal, 9-yard line for Bradshaw. Just underway, first period. Steelers trying to capitalize on the interception. Bradshaw. Bleier out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Hall made the hit, but Bleier again just curling back was wide open along the near sidelines, and you could see Bradshaw looking for Bleier all the way.
One of the things the Cleveland Browns did not want to let Terry Bradshaw do is get out of the pocket. They feel that he's most dangerous when he gets out of the pocket and starts to run. They were trying to keep him contained, but as you can see, it's hard to keep a guy who can run a 4.7 40 in that pocket. Drifted to the outside and zipped a powerful pass right into Rocky Bleier's hands.
Number 84, Randy Grossman, has entered the Pittsburgh Steeler huddle, so they'll go with the 3 tight ends. Larry Brown was a tight end last year, now playing right tackle. Then Cunningham and Grossman bookending the line. Grossman is the little wingback on the right side. 2-yard line. Bradshaw and pressure, and he had to throw it away, and we have a flag down in the end zone. We may have had an illegal chuck, as Bradshaw had to dump it under the pressure of Bob Babbage, number 60.
You get a feeling for how much confidence Terry Bradshaw has in his passing ability and in the passing game of the Steelers. He's not afraid to go to it anywhere.
Here's the announcement.
No penalty. Number 79 is eligible.
All right, 79. Larry Brown was an eligible receiver, although lined up as the tight end on the left side. And, of course, Brown, a former tight end, caught 47 passes when he played that spot, was the target that quarterback Bradshaw was searching out. And the official saw that 79 said, you shouldn't be in the pattern. Bradshaw leaves the field as Roy Gerela will try for a short field goal, apparently, out of Craig Colquitt's hole.
Gerela sure had his problems this year. He was hoping to get a short chip shot. He said, when I get that first one in there, I'm going to be all right. And I said, maybe you get a short one, and here it is.
That's right. He's 0 for 4 thus far, as you can see. 19-yard attempt. And the Steelers turned the interception into 3, and he barely got it inside that upright as it was hooking left. Just underway in Three River Stadium, the Steelers take the 3-point lead. And the Steelers on the first scrimmage play pick off the pass from Brian Sipe. Donnie Shell with the interception at the 36 of the Browns, and Roy Gerela settles for the 19-yard field goal. And Merlin Olsen, in a way, a lift for the Steelers to get 3 so quickly, but a moral victory for the Browns defense to keep Bradshaw out of the end zone.
Well, certainly you want to get those points, and they did get some points. They did not get the TD, and that is kind of a victory when they get down that close so quickly.
Gerela hooking that one out of bounds, and he'll kick it over after the 5-yard penalty from his 30-yard line.
He's so excited about making his first field goal of the year. He really has had a problem, Dick. Last year he was hurt. He tried only 14 field goals, the fewest in the NFL last season, because he was injured. Very often the Steelers, in position to go for a field goal, simply could not do it because of his injury. Chuck Noll has shown amazing patience with Gerela, and it's the kind of patience that he can afford because of the strength of this Steeler team. And I asked him yesterday, are you worried about Gerela? He's 0 for 4. He said no. He said as long as Gerela kicks him into the end zone on the kickoff and makes half his extra points, he's here to stay. But I think he's just a little pumped up after making his first one.
All right, now he'll have to kick it from the 30. There's no question about his leg power. He's healthy now, and in practice was driving the ball as deep as you'd ever want from your placement specialist. He'll be kicking to Larry Collins, the speedy rookie from Texas A&I, number 23, and Tom Sullivan, number 26, the veteran acquired from the Eagles. 3-0 Steelers. Gerela's 19-yard field goal in the early going. Oh, he hit that one.
Boy, did he ever.
At 70 yards in the air to Collins. He's a flyer, but can't get through that first wave of Steelers down at the 27-yard line. And the hold, rookie Nat Terry, number 41.
Let's give you a quick look at the offensive line for Cleveland. Doug Deacon and Henry Shepard on the left side. Tom DeLeon, a small but effective center in the middle. Robert Jackson, a youngster on the right, and Barry Darrow, one of the bigger offensive linemen there at the right tackle position. Defensive line for the Steelers, of course, a very traditionally tough unit for them. And they're lining up in the pits right now. We'll see what they can do down there.
Sipe, second chance to handle the ball, splits his backs and brings Rucker in motion. This is Collins. No gain. Mel Blount, number 47 from the right corner, coming up quickly to force the play inside, where he had plenty of help from Dwight White. Also in on the tackle, number 51, Lauren Taves. 2nd and 10. Play action and Sipe. Miller dropped immediately on a tough tackle by the rookie Ron Johnson, number 29. A flag is down. in the secondary of the Steelers. That's Johnson, a rookie from Eastern Michigan, the #1 pick of the Steelers in last spring's draft. He's 5'10" and 200 pounds. His idol, Jack Tatum, and he delivered that tackling blow like Tatum.
Well, I tell you, talking to George Perlis, the defensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, he said, you know, you try and put a young man in there and you worry about him. He said, Ron Johnson, you see him there on the left-hand side along with Mel Blount, Donnie Shell, and Mike Wagner in the Pittsburgh defensive backfield. He said, we haven't even had to protect this kid. He just gets out there and takes his share of the load and has done just an amazing job of playing good football for the Steelers and fitting in. Of course, it's easier when you got all those great veterans around you, I'll tell you that.
That's for sure. He's replacing J.T. Thomas out with a blood disorder. Penalty was defensive holding. First down, Browns after the 5-yard mark off at their own 33. That's Newsom, the tight end. Flag is down. Miller back to the 39-yard line as he countered to the weak side. Ron Johnson, the left corner, made the tackle. And I believe that'll be a procedure call against Cleveland.
One of the things that Cleveland had planned to do was to run away from Jack Ham if he was in the game. You see the call there against the defense. Apparently somebody offside. But Robin Cole, number 56, of course, has stepped into play for Ham, and his job is to string that out along the sideline. You see them cutting him back inside. That's Cleo Miller, number 30, running the ball. An excellent football player. Robin Cole could play his best football today, and people would say, well, he's not Jack Ham. Kind of a tough position to step into, Dick.
How good is Jack Ham?
Well,
is he as unique as everyone says?
Sam Bertigliano said it. He said, when Ham is in there, we run away from him. Just that simple. I mean, I don't think there's another linebacker in the league who combines the playing ability against the run and the great agility and speed to stay with the receivers in the secondary.
Ham out today, probably okay next week. He has a groin injury. 1st and 5 after the Steelers caught offside. Burrowing forward across the 40 goes Cleo Miller from Arkansas A&M. Jack Lambert and company greeting him after short yardage, but it was 1st and 5. That'll bring up 2nd down and a short 2. We saw Green line up, Merlin Olsen. It's burned in everyone's memory. Joe Green, the way he used that angle position between the center and the guard. I want to talk about that, pursue that as this game develops, and how it has worked for Green and maybe some of the penalties he's had to pay for that spot. We'll keep our eye on Mean Joe.
He's in there again. In fact, both the tackles are lined up in that stunt position. They may have a stunt going between the two of them.
Rucker in motion, and Miller up the middle. Struggling forward, I believe he has the 1st down out to the 44-yard line. Green and Lambert in on the tackle.
Let's take you down and take a closer look at that play. Green and Banaszak both lined up very tight in there, and they did have a stunt on. Green coming first, Banaszak going behind. Now watch Green. He kind of gets hooked on the double team, but still manages to get off. Reaches in there, grabs Cleo Miller around the waist, and says, whoa, hold up, man. That's enough.
Green is lighter. He's taken off weight as you did, as you aged in the NFL. He's at 260. That's Rucker out of the backfield in motion. In traffic, Rucker picks it off, short yardage, only a couple of yards. Jack Lambert led the defensive charge, number 58. Larry Collins was the receiver out of the backfield. Collins, who has been used sparingly, and it's not Mike Pruitt. That's a surprise. All the word from Rotigliano's crew was that we would see Mike Pruitt. He has not played on a scrimmage play yet, and Larry Collins, the rookie from Texas A&M, replacing him, number 23.
Collins, of course, with that great speed, and I'm sure that that's what they have in mind, trying to get around the corner, perhaps. Perhaps Ham being out of there has something to do with that choice. Yeah.
2nd down, call it 7. This is Cleo Miller. Ooh. Gets into Steeler territory as a flag goes down. 49-yard line. Blount and Lambert collaborated on Cleo Miller. He was drafted, or actually a free agent picked by Kansas City back in '74.
I think we got a call against Jackson for clipping on Green on that play. One of the complaints that these Pittsburgh linemen make after every game with Cleveland is that the defensive linemen are clipped by the Cleveland offensive line. And speaking as a former defensive tackle, there's nothing that makes you more angry than that. And Joe, I believe, is going to be pleased that they finally picked one up and called it.
Cleveland's Rotigliano, one of his concerns the Browns are the most penalized team in the National Football League after 3 games.
Well, they're young, and they're eager, and they're excited, and they're playing emotional football, and that leads to problems, turnovers, and penalties.
And bad field position at the 34-yard line, where it is 2nd down and 20 Cleveland.
Do you know any good second 20 plays, Dick?
As a defensive lineman, you kind of like to.
I like that. That's a defensive play, isn't it?
Steelers brace for the pass as they take out a linebacker and put in number 21, Tony Dungy, the ex-Minnesota quarterback. He's a ball hawk. Screen. And blockers in front of Miller. And he drives it out for an 11-yard gain, and we may have a late hit on Lambert at the 45. Joe Green also in on the stop.
We talked to you about the emotions of this game, and you're going to see some of it right there. Lambert just a little pumped up, but there. Let's get a look inside. You see L.C. Greenwood, 68, looping all the way around in a stunt. That's a good thing Sipe had the screen on, because he wouldn't have had much time to throw that ball. Excellent call, by the way, as Cleo Miller gets to the outside, finds some yardage, and of course the penalty will give him a first down and excellent field position on the 40. Here's a little different look at it. You see L.C. chasing from the back, and he can see somebody. I believe that's Robert Jackson who had his sights on him. L.C. said, no, it's okay. I see I can't make the stop. And there's a shot right there. You see 58 coming in a little bit late, rolling him up. Good call by the official. Lambert's a little pumped up out there, too.
15-yard penalty gives the Browns a first down at the Pittsburgh 40. So the 2nd and 20 screenplay call was a good one. 11 yards plus the penalty of 15. Collins. He can't turn the corner. And finally Lambert wraps him up. L.C. Greenwood, 6'6.5". Arkansas A&M, the all-pro left end also in on the tackle.
You see number 75, Joe Green, number 58, Lambert on the backside there. Watch the pursuit of Lambert. I'll tell you, he's amazing. He just got great range and great strength, fighting to keep his feet. Now he's going to get up there and get a part of that tackle. Jack Lambert has to be one of the 2 or 3 best middle linebackers in the game today. And before he's through, he may well be the best.
And one of the lightest, too, Merlin. He plays at just under 220.
Amazing that he can do the things he does without the great bulk that some of the middle linebackers carry.
2nd down 12, Tom Sullivan, number 26 in the backfield. Backs in the pattern. That's Logan, too tall. Double coverage and a flag down in the backfield. And Dwight White is applauding what he feels is a hold against Cleveland.
And I'll tell you, Doug Deacon is talking to that official. He said, hey, double penalty, yeah? Well, Dwight's not as happy now as he was when he thought he had a holding call. That's a good battle between those two. They've fought it out many times, and there's no love lost between those two guys.
I'm wondering now whether or not that's a double foul or whether or not the referee erred in making his signal that he really meant it was against Cleveland.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There they marching it on. Embarrassing.
Personal foul, number 73, offense.
That's Doug Deacon, the left tackle from the University of Illinois. Interesting offensive line for Cleveland. We've talked about the number 1 draft picks. The Rams, 4 of their 5 offensive linemen, number 1 picks. Cleveland, just the opposite. Their highest round, 5th round for Shepard. Deacon picked in the 6th round. DeLeon in the 5th. Jackson, a free agent, and Darrow, 17th round pick. Tony Dungy, 21, the 5th defensive back. Collins. Blount slowed him down, and there's plenty of help. Mel Blount, a fine play at the corner. Red run all the way. Duck in our first score from elsewhere. The Jets scoring a field goal by Pat Leahy in the first period at Washington to lead. 3-0, 25-yard field goal by Leahy. And at Cincinnati, the Bengals 0-3 have taken a 3-0 lead against New Orleans as Chris Barr is connected from 20 yards out.
The thing that always impresses me when I get a chance to watch these Steelers, Dick, is how well balanced they are defensively. They really don't have any weaknesses. And you keep trying to go left, you try and go right, there's always somebody there to make a big play.
Ball at the 39-yard line for a first down. The Browns have to get to the Pittsburgh 30. Sipe rolling away from traffic. He may have crossed the scrimmage line, and that will not be a touchdown. Sipe finally found Rucker open, but Sipe threw the ball from the 39, and the line of scrimmage was the 38.
Boy, that'll break your heart. There it is. Let's get a look at it. You see Sipe, he's getting pressure from Mean Joe Green there, or take it back, it's Banaszak pressuring him, rolls to the outside, has plenty of time, and just loses track of that line of scrimmage. You see him stepping down right on the 39-yard line, and they're going to call it back and mark it off. Boy, what a shame. Reggie Rucker having a great year all alone down there, had beaten Donnie Shell, was wide open, walked it in for the touchdown. Sam saying, let's do it again. No penalties this time, please.
He's a product of the positive thinking school as Ritigliano, effervescent former assistant at Denver, New England, the Jets, and the Saints.
Well, he felt his biggest job was to help the players on this Browns team to kind of get settled a little bit, to enjoy the game more. Felt that was one of the big weaknesses that they had under former coach Forrest Gregg. And they seem to be enjoying their football more, Dick.
This is the rookie, Johnny Evans. Both teams with rookie punters. He's kicking to Nat Terry and Randy Rudershan. He'll get a good roll on that one. To Rudershan at the 27. And he drives it 10 yards back to the 37-yard line. The Steelers back in possession after the 39-yard kick. Timeout in Pittsburgh. 6 minutes, 13 seconds left. First quarter with the Steelers in front, 3-0. Come down to the final games before the playoffs and World Series. Rocky Bleier inside handoff and right into the arms of Jerry Shirk, number 72, the All-Pro from Oklahoma State. The Steelers with an early field goal by Roy Gerela of 19 yards after they intercepted Brian Sipe's first play pass of the game and lead 3-0. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen at Three Rivers Stadium with 5 minutes, 50 seconds left in the first quarter. Second down, 9 at the 39. Stallworth left, Swann right. Harris the only man in the backfield, Bleier wing left. Incomplete. Intended for Benny Cunningham, number 89. 6'5" target. Boy, he's easy to find.
Benny Cunningham has certainly had a great impact on this Steeler offense. Absolutely one of the finest tight ends playing right now in NFL football. And he's really added a great deal of dimension to the Steeler offense, taking a lot of pressure off Swann and Stallworth on the outside.
Third down, 9. Again, the double wing, Bradshaw to throw. And again, he gets outside. Oh, a diving try by Swann, who seems to be everywhere. The Steelers will have to give up the football.
Here's Bradshaw. Good look at him from field level as he goes back. He's getting pressure from Shirk from the inside. Just drifts slightly, throws it over. Swann makes a great diving attempt at the ball. One of the kind of catches you'd expect from Lynn Swann, but unable to get to it.
Superb athlete Swann. The rookie Colquitt from Tennessee averaging 41.5 to kick to another rookie, Keith Wright. And Wright cleverly gets out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Timeout in Pittsburgh. 5 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Steelers lead the Browns 3-0. On a 3-yard run by Cullen Bryant. And at Buffalo, Chuck Knox's Young Bills looking for their first win. Touchdown pass, Ferguson to Gant, 19 yards, lead Baltimore 7-0. Browns trailing 3-0. Their third possession at their own 27.
I believe Tom DeLeon just snapped that ball a count too early. Surprised everybody. Sipe did a good job of getting on top of it, Dick. You get a chance to look at it here. Everybody else is saying, wait a minute, it was on 2. Tom, come back. You see Sipe just barely getting there ahead of Banaszak to cover that fumble.
That could have been disastrous. The Gerela field goal followed the pass interception by Sipe on the first scrimmage play. Number 43, Mike Pruitt, is in the Cleveland backfield, teaming with Tom Sullivan, 26. They gained a yard, 2nd and 9 on the fumble. Sullivan, no. Oh, as he popped by the center, and there go the flags as Robin Cole, number 56, makes the hit. Number 78, Dwight White.
You know what Dwight's saying? He said he went after my knees, and I think Dwight may have used a little extra heft to send him the other way, and Robert Jackson's unhappy with that, too. We talked earlier about the bad blood in this game, and there's a lot of it. One of the interesting things about the matchup of these lines, certainly there's no way that talent-wise the Cleveland Browns line matches up with the Steel Curtain. But George Perlis, the defensive coordinator, was telling me that they have great respect for this line because of how tough they are. You see Banaszak down there, you see how they're just fighting and fighting for everything they can get. We missed the shot on the outside. I don't think we get a chance to see Dwight White getting stacked up in there, but you get an idea of the brutality of it. There you see him, just at the end of it.
White took a little kick at his blocking opponent is what happened. Not a fierce kick, but he certainly let him know he didn't like it. Sipe play action after the penalty. Lots of time. Now gets a block downfield, and he's heading for cover. Out of bounds at the 48 of Pittsburgh. In front of the Steeler bench, Lauren Taves, University of California rugby star, number 51. Made the tackle.
Of course, Taves for so many years, the understudy to Andy Russell here, and just now coming into his own. Brian Sipe did a fine job of being very patient on that one, waiting for a receiver to come open. Finally couldn't find him, and then did a good job of running, and smart quarterback, got out of bounds.
Really contrast in the way these two men throw, Merlin. Sipe, what did Retigliano say last night? Couldn't break a pane of glass.
He can't break a pane of glass. I think, well, but he does throw the passes. He's smart enough to realize his limitations. He does a good job of getting the balls out that he can throw.
Pruitt, good acceleration and a first down at the 44 of Pittsburgh. He shows good power and speed.
Well, at 225, and he's about 5'9", and he gets that excellent shot. Very quick speed, and he looks like he's going full speed after his first step almost, Dick.
4.4 speed, Pruitt, and he was one time in the 60 at 6'2".
Wow. He hasn't had a chance to run 60 too many times this year. I'm sure that Coach Retigliano is hoping he'll get a chance today.
And he's carrying his average per carry on his uniform, 4.3 yards per try. First down, Collins. Good blocking in front. And he's inside the Pittsburgh 40-yard line. Larry Collins, he has 4.5 speed. Rookie from Texas A&I, where he gained 1,000 yards rushing 4 straight years. Only Tony Dorsett can make that claim along with Larry Collins. Robin Cole and Taves, the other linebacker with Greenwood, made the stop.
One of the things you'll see today on the part of both defensive teams is great pursuit. You saw it right there. It looked like a big hole opened up, and all of a sudden it was closed. Cleveland also does a fine job of pursuing the ball carriers, and that's one of the marks, of course, of a great defense.
Sipe has Logan right, Rucker flanks left, tight end Newsom on the right side. Pruitt, not much there, maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd and 5.
They're really going after Banaszak, Dick. He's only 240 pounds, and of course, playing on the inside is not as big as you would expect the defensive lineman to be. But he stacked them up in there that time and just shut it off. And I don't know if he made the tackle, but there was no room for anyone to go anywhere.
Banaszak has friends and family back in the Cleveland area watching him perform. He's from Browns country. Sam Retigliano watching Brian Sipe set up shop, 3rd and 5. Great protection. Look at the time. Finally a man open, and Logan drops the ball. Incomplete. A scramble for the loose ball. Donnie Shell heading toward the Brown goal line, but Sipe all that time couldn't find an open white jersey. And let's credit that Steeler defense staying with their men that long.
That's the toughest job in football, to stay with those receivers when a quarterback has time to throw. And Chuck Noll has got to be saying, "Where's my pass rush? Come on, guys."
Incredible protection by the tackles Deacon and Darrow, the guards Shepard and Jackson, and center DeLeon. This is the rookie Evans kicking to Randy Rudershan. They're coming after him. And a good job under pressure. That's an excellent kick. Will they stop it? No. It crossed the goal line, and his foot was in the end zone, says the official on the spot. Touchback at the 20. A flag is down at the line of scrimmage.
Looked like a perfect kick, and Evans was just thrilled to have one do that. Of course, he may have a chance to try it again, as it looks like the penalty is going to go against Pittsburgh.
And that may be a first down for the Browns if it is against Pittsburgh.
The official is down there saying, no, guys, somebody did put a foot down in that end zone. He's giving them the word down there. They're sure they took it down on the 1.
We saw a play similar to that where Atlanta, in the first game of the season against Houston, was able to knock the ball out of the end zone in midair and get the ball down on the 1.
Defense.
Boy, that's costly. That's a costly mistake for Pittsburgh as it gives Cleveland a chance to sustain that drive. Gives them a first down on the 34-yard line. Chuck Noll, of course, you know, a veteran coach, a veteran team, he's got to be saying, how can we be that dumb? We don't make that kind of mistakes here.
That's a first down. It was 4th and a short 5. 50 yards in penalties against the Steelers, and we haven't played a quarter yet. That's incredible yardage. Mike Pruitt banging up the middle for 5.
Steelers were second in the NFL last year in the number of penalties against them, and also in the number of turnovers, and they have been correcting that problem. They haven't had that problem this year, but today they're off to a bad start.
There's our first report from Philadelphia, where Gerela is in on a 47-yard field goal for the Dolphins. A note, Steelers have not allowed a single point in the first quarter this year. Sipe. Oh! Intercepted by Jack Lambert. Not very well thrown.
Well, it looked like they wanted to go to 82, Ozzie Newsome, who really has done a great job. It's a little play-action pass, and that's one of the ways that Pittsburgh has been hurt. But the linebackers got great response. I think that was Taves, 51, who batted it up in the air, and Lambert chasing it all the way to the ground. He wanted that ball. Going to be third and about 8 yards.
All at the 31-yard line. There's Taves playing the right side. Cole on the left side, Lambert in the middle, and now Dennis Winston, 53 in the ball game. Doggone. Intercepted. Dropped by the veteran Mike Wagner. You won't see him miss many of those. 24 career interceptions, and that one was almost too easy.
Oh, you get down inside his head. Let's give you another look at it. Sipe is under a great deal of pressure here and makes a mistake. Just throws a bad pass right into the hands. I mean, it's almost too easy. Wagner's saying, who's he throwing to? And before he realized it, the ball had gone through his hands, into his chest, and onto the ground.
Don Cockroft to try a long field goal. Evans to hold. It would be a 48-yard attempt. His longest ever, 57. To tie. No good. Wide to the left. Now the Steelers remain unscathed in the first quarter in 1978. Pittsburgh ball at the 20 with a timeout, and the Steelers in front 3-0. Bradshaw, both wide receivers to the left. Swann in the slot. Harris finds a little hole and gets to the 34-yard line. At Cincinnati, New Orleans, Mike Strawn has scored on a 5-yard run. 7-3, the Saints lead the Bengals.
Rutigliano talked to us about the importance of stopping Franco Harris, and what they're trying to do with Franco is force him to the outside. They feel that he does his most effective running up inside, and they're stacking their linebackers in a position to try and force him outside, Dick, and you've seen him a couple of times have to go outside and then do what he does so well, which is cutting back against the grain. Very tough to stop him.
Straight ahead this time to the 39-yard line, a couple of yards shy of the first down. Jerry Shirk made the stop for Cleveland.
They're very excited about Jerry Shirk's return to the game. Jerry is, of course, one of the premier defensive linemen in football. 2 years voted the Bulldog Award for what the offensive linemen consider to be the meanest son of a gun to handle. And he was, and they're glad to have him back in the lineup.
Quite a compliment. He goes out on 3rd and 2, and Jesse Turnbow, 272-pounder, replaces him. And Harris can't make the first down. Coming up from the secondary, Clarence Scott, 22, left corner with a fine stop as the gun sounds ending the first quarter in Pittsburgh. We'll be back. Second quarter of action. The Steelers and the Browns after these messages from your local station.
Hi.
Pittsburgh and Cleveland, both undefeated, the only two AFC teams without a loss. 3-0 Steelers. We open the second quarter. Deep to return the rookie right. That's Colquitt, 13 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He's a two-step kicker. And he hangs a dying spiral. Wright can't get away. Number baby. Larry Anderson, a rookie 4th-round pick from Louisiana Tech, made the tackle. And a reminder, next Sunday, NFL 78, Part 2 of Merlin Olsen's excellent series, How Do You Say Goodbye? Plus all the pregame activity and action, and then we'll go to the various sites and some dandy games again next weekend. Houston, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. The Steelers will be in New York against the Jets. Later at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, highlight game, Oakland at Chicago. The 49ers hosting Cincinnati, and Seattle at Denver should be a good one. That's all next Sunday here on NBC. Leo Miller staying on his feet after it appeared he would gain not a thing. Picks up about 5 before Robin Cole can make the stop.
The Steelers are doing some changing in their defense, and they're running what they call an overstack, which moves Joe Green to the outside. And you see Joe, he's unfamiliar out there, breaks clean, actually bumps into Miller in the backfield, and just wasn't quite ready for it. Couldn't tackle him. Fortunately, there was good pursuit. 56 Cole, 58 Lambert over there to make the stop.
Second down, call it 4. That's Pruitt. Driving out to the 30-yard line, and a Cleveland first down. Taves and Wagner bumped him out of bounds. Report from Buffalo. The Bills have scored again in the first quarter. Pass from Ferguson to Frank Lewis, the ex-Steeler wide receiver. And Buffalo jumps in front of Baltimore 14-0.
It has to be interesting to watch the Steeler line, since they have made some changes. They were running what they call the stunt 4-3 with Joe in that gap between the center and the guard and angled in. And when they asked him to move out in this new defense, he said, I didn't know what to do. I've been in there so long, I didn't know how to play it out there.
First down at the Cleveland 30. Oh, what a hit on Miller, and he struggles forward for 1.5 yards after being popped by Jack Lambert. Was there a blitz on? Lambert certainly got in there in a hurry.
One of his jobs, of course, to fill up in there very quickly, and Lambert did it. Get you a quick look at it on the inside. They're double teaming Banasak on the center, and somebody's got to get Lambert, or they're not going to be able to stop him. Great job by Lambert.
There's Joe Green, number 75. You saw him get tangled up in the crowd. He found his way inside. He feels more comfortable.
He got in there where he knew he was going.
And Lambert filled the hole again. This time it was Pruitt who absorbed the wrath of that middle linebacker from Kent State. Second-round pick. Both Ham and Lambert were second-round picks. Robin Cole was the first-round selection last year out of New Mexico.
Of course, that's the way the Steelers have built their team. They built it with draft picks, and they have gone into the draft market and picked what they consider to be the best athlete. Didn't matter whether it was a linebacker or a defensive back, whatever. They sure got some great positions on it.
Gerela and running back Alvin Maxson, the only men on the Steelers squad to play with someone else. Blount almost intercepted it. There was Blount's ball all the way. Rucker really didn't have a chance. Mel Blount.
Mel certainly has to be one of the premier defensive backs in the league. Last year, of course, not a great season for him. He held out, late getting in, never got it going. Here you see Sipe firing the ball. Probably should have fired it out of bounds, because the guy who had his best shot at it, right there, number 47, Mel Blount. Reggie Rucker done a great job of receiving for Cleveland this year. Been a great threat deep, but he hasn't been able to get to him today.
Evans. It's Rudershan, 30, and he gets 10 yards back to the 35-yard line. So he has had 2 10-yard returns on punts from Evans. 44-yard kick. We have a break. 12.5 minutes remaining first half. Steelers lead by 3. And we hope you'll pull up your favorite beverage and join NBC next Sunday for another full slate of pro football action. Check your local listings. The Steelers have the football at their own 35-yard line. 12.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Straight ahead goes Franco to the 39-yard line. Charlie Hall, number 59, the tackler for Cleveland.
Down in the offensive line, Jerry Mullins, Moon Mullins, one of the fine offensive guards. Going to give you a little look at him as he tries to duck in behind Shirk there. He wants to pick up Ambrose, 52. Does an excellent job of getting to Ambrose's legs, forcing him away from the tackle. Short gain, but some excellent blocking by the offensive guard.
Mullins from Southern California. John McKay called him the best blocking tight end he ever coached. 2nd and 6. Oh, what a hit on Lynn Swann by number 28, Ron Bolton, and Swann gets up. Oh, my.
He didn't want to get up, but he knew he couldn't stay on the ground. Bolton just unloaded on him. And as is typical of these two teams, a lot of emotion on that field. Here's a look right into Terry Bradshaw's eyes. He spots Swann, and he kind of leaves Swann hanging on a limb. Watch the shot now, coming up on the bottom down here. Bolton just levels him right dead on. Oh, that'll give you a headache all the way up here, Dick.
Swann, incredible. At 6 feet 180, the shock he absorbed to bounce on his feet and go back into the huddle. 3rd down, 6. Franco in a screen. Trapped and wrestled down by number 66, Earl Edwards. 6'7" tackle from Wichita, who replaced Walter Johnson, who starred for so many years at left tackle for the Browns.
Earl did a great job of reading that play and getting to the outside on it. That's super defense. Here's an interesting score for you. The Jets behind Washington, 3-7, as Joe Theismann passes to John McDaniel, 33 yards for a touchdown. And what a great start for the Washington Redskins.
Eagles lead Miami 7-3.
And that's a Ron Jaworski pass to Mike Hogan of 4 yards. Jaworski having a good season.
And you saw Cincinnati leading New Orleans 10-7 on a Reeves pass to Bass. Fair catch for the youngster right at the 18-yard line. And the Browns will put it in play there. Great kick by Colquitt. And we'll have more of this kind of action from Pittsburgh when we return. 3-0 Steelers.
Well, Tom Beasley has gone in at tackle, and they've moved John Banasak out to his normal end position on the right side.
Brian Sipe sets up shop at his own 19. Second quarter, 3-0 Steelers. Open, but unable to stay inbounds. Out of bounds at the 38 is Tom Sullivan. Sullivan from Miami of Florida, and was he open?
And the other thing that's got to be discouraging for the Steeler coaching staff, he's got all kinds of time to throw the football. And there he is, Tom Sullivan. There's nobody within 10 yards of him. And blown assignment somewhere. It's a shame that he couldn't find his footing a little earlier. You see him stepping on the line, of course, the ball is out of bounds at that point.
First down for Sipe and the Browns. 11 minutes remaining, first half. Boy, that Cleo Miller is tough to bring down. He did a lot of work to gain 2 yards. Speaking of work, the Rams are putting it to Houston. 10-0. Frank Corral, 25-yard field goal in the second quarter in the Dome. And Mr. Lynn Swann will be checking with his chiropractor tomorrow.
Boy, did you see the way his head snapped back on that hit, Dick?
Yeah, the human body is an incredible machine. The kinds of, well, this game proves it, play after play, the kind of punishment one can absorb, but if in good condition, still survive.
He's a proud athlete, but he wouldn't let him know he was hurt. He could get back.
2nd and 8. Sipe to Logan, and that'll be a first down at the Pittsburgh 47. Tackle made by Mike Wagner, the veteran from Western Illinois. And Sipe has his Browns going as he has invaded Pittsburgh territory, trailing 3-0.
Sipe did an excellent job of getting that ball to Logan, and Logan really has come on this last year. Seeing that the addition of Ozzie Newsome at the tight end spot and the great play of Reggie Rucker on the other side have opened up some territory for Mr. Dave Logan, and he's taken advantage of it.
Logan, 85 to the near side. He replaced Paul Warfield, now one of our NBC commentators. Rucker left on first down. Miller ducking through a small hole to the 45-yard line for John Banaszak and Jack Lambert stay low.
Miller trying to cut that back against the grain as L.C. Greenwood and 75 Joe Green doing a great job of stringing it out. There was no room outside. Cleo did what he has to do, which is cut back against the grain, and Pursuit got him on the inside.
Second down, 8. Logan right, Rucker left. The rookie Newsome lined up on the left side. Miller and Pruitt split wide behind Sipe, and they're in the pattern. Flag down. Newsome, the target, incomplete. 25-yard line. Pressure by Banaszak on Sipe. Taves, 51, was covering Newsome.
And we have a penalty flag thrown on the inside. You get a look at Newsome here. Newsome, of course, the #1 draft pick this last season by the Browns out of Alabama. And the Bear called him the best receiver they'd ever had at Alabama. You see the kind of speed he has. He's incredible for a big man, but he's really he's a wide receiver playing tight end.
Big penalty against Pittsburgh all the way to the 30. Let's listen.
Personal foul, head slap, number 65. First down.
Tom Beasley, the first-year defensive tackle from Virginia Tech, drafted 3rd round last year. He's known for his good use of his hands, but you can't slap the helmet of that offensive blocker anymore. And I know a lot of people have cried about that. Fred Dreyer leaves that vocal expression. He feels that took a tremendous weapon away from the defensive lineman.
I could vote for that myself, Dick.
Reverse to Newsome, and he has some running room and a blocker out there. Look who chased him down, Wagner from behind. But Newsome, nevertheless, picks up about 9.
One of the things the Browns have done effectively over the last few years is to use a few gimmicks. And the end around is one of the most effective when they can get it going. Newsome gives them great enough speed that they can loop him out of there, hand him the ball, and let him go.
Let's see if we can go back and pick up that head slap penalty against Beasley.
Well, we won't see the head slap, but you'll see Deacon say, no, we don't slap heads around here, young man. He's giving Beasley a little pop with an elbow there.
Elbow on the side of the helmet.
Oh, there's no love lost in that line.
This is Pruitt. And a first down at the Pittsburgh 17-yard line. And the Browns are driving deep, trailing 3-0. And we have an injured Cleveland player down at the 13-yard line. And it was one of the men out in the secondary trying to block. 65, Henry Shepard, the left guard from SMU. Oh, he was way downfield. So with that injury, a timeout at Three River Stadium. 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Pittsburgh 3, the Browns driving, have nothing. Retigliano's Browns 6 points.
You'll see it on the inside. There's number 68 drifting across to the outside. It looks like he had a hold of Dwight White. Joe Green getting great pressure on Sipe, and Sipe putting it right on the money. What a great pass. Threw it right into Tom Sullivan.
We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is 11 Alive, WIC TV Pittsburgh.
Sipe again going to Sullivan, who had worked his way open, angling toward the far sidelines. Jack Lambert on the coverage for Pittsburgh.
Might be a good idea for us to give Sipe some credit for his play selections. He's really done a good job. Calls all of his own plays, as does Terry Bradshaw. In fact, this is the first time in a long time we've been in a game where the quarterbacks were both calling their own plays. And Sipe has done an excellent job of mixing his calls. Of course, Pittsburgh vulnerable to play-action passing on the early downs, and that's what he just about burned them with.
Sipe was a member of the Little League World Series champions from La Mesa, California. That was BT before Taiwan. Pruitt. Tough to get outside. That Lambert reversing from middle linebacker to make the hit.
The great mark of the middle linebacker, of course, is his ability to flow down the line to fill the hole. Watch Lambert, number 58. Reads it instantly, gets outside. Pruitt there quickly, Lambert there just as quickly. And just, bear hugged him. No, you're going to stop right here.
Hello. Brings up third down at the 26. And, of course, the Browns would like to gain some yardage, if not a first down, to get Cockcroft closer to those uprights. Dungy, fifth defensive back in for Pittsburgh. Backs are in the pattern. Sipe looking for Paris. Hit him in the shoulder pad. 84, Gary Paris had turned and was at
limping along the back line of the end zone and may have picked up the ball too late in its flight to him as he seemed to misjudge where that ball might be.
We'll give you another look at it. Sipe back there. This is a three-man rush, and they're unable to get the pressure on Sipe. He has time to throw. No one to throw to. Scrambles up toward the line of scrimmage and finally unloads to an open area, knowing he has a receiver there. But it looked like Paris had to turn around and just couldn't get his eye on the ball quick enough to take a hold of it.
Well, Cockcroft will try to tie it up. This is a 44-yard attempt. Logan to hold. And we have a new game. Officially 43 yards for Cockcroft. Timeout. 6:27 remaining in the first half. The Browns and Steelers are even. Tough defensive struggle at Three Rivers Stadium. A 3-3 tie. Chuck Noll Steelers about to receive the kickoff of Don Cockcroft. Deep at the 5-yard line, rookie Larry Anderson. On the wings, Maxson to his right, and to his left is young Rick Moser. Short, 5-yard line. Anderson. Fumble. And that is number 28, Ron Bolton, finally out of bounds inside the 15. I don't think Bolton knew initially that he could run with it. Might have had a touchdown. He hesitated. Maybe someone shouted to him saying, "Go, Ron." And then after that slight delay, got the ball to the 13-yard line. What a hit, Merlin.
Larry Anderson does what a good returner must do. Gets quickly up into the wedge, but he just got popped so hard. I can't see who did it, but boy, one of those Cleveland players just shook him loose. Bolton is on his feet. He's got a lot of company, and he's not going to give up that ball. He had a lock on it. Still wandering. Hits the sideline. What a great break for the Browns. Chance to get into this game and get ahead on Steelers to get on top of them right now.
3-3 time. First down at the 14-yard line. Pruitt and Sullivan behind Sipe. Greenwood. And throwing it away was Sipe. He had Pruitt down at the 10-yard line. L.C. Greenwood, the best of the pass-rushing Steelers, putting the heat on Brian Sipe. Ron Johnson on the coverage downfield.
Sipe trying to take advantage of that turnover very quickly. Play action pass, thought he could get someone open. Unable to shake anyone loose. I think Pittsburgh may well have anticipated that play there.
Now the steel curtain trying to lock the door on the Browns after Cleveland. A big fumble recovery and return to the 14. Logan right, Rucker left. Newsom to the left. Logan. Ron Johnson broke it up. Although he was not looking at the ball, he timed his move, watched the hands of Logan, and when the ball arrived, he was able to rip it free from Logan's grasp.
They train the defensive backs when they're playing man-to-man to play the man. And you get the shot here. It's a little looping pass. Sipe does a great job of throwing it so it's going to drop right over the head. Watch him. He's going to watch him all the way, go right up, strips it with his hands. That's super defensive play right there. And boy, I tell you, that's amazing for a rookie to learn that quickly.
So it's now 3rd and 10, Cleveland. That's Miller shifting. Steelers were offside. Sipe will go through with the play and is tackled down at the 9-yard line. A little extracurricular activity between Winston, 53, and 61.
That's Greg Fairchild in there. They just picked him up off the trade wires and doing a good job. Little fisticuffs down there. We talked about the emotion of this game. You get a look at it here. Fairchild, he's on the just right there. See the hands? That's all we got is a little fisticuff there. Looks like he got boxing gloves on. A lot of the offensive linemen starting to wear those gloves. They're really a training glove almost for boxing. And their hands usually so scarred up during the year that they find if they'll put those on, they can save themselves a lot of trouble.
I remember seeing you late in every year as a defensive lineman. Your hands looked just terrible.
Defense, 3rd down.
You see the offsides there. I think Sipe just doing what a number of quarterbacks have been able to do to Pittsburgh is to take advantage of a non-rhythmic cadence and get them to jump. Of course, a good defensive line anticipates the snap and has to be right on it.
Well, the ball at the 9-yard line, 3rd and 5. Double wing. Lauren Taves shooting in from that right side linebacking position with Lambert to make the stop and force Cockcroft and the field goal unit to come in.
Pittsburgh's not a blitzing team by nature, but they put it on him right there, put Sipe on the ground. Here's a look at it again, down on the field. Fakes a little handoff there, but didn't fool anybody. You see both linebackers, Taves and Lambert, coming hard. Winston from the other side, no chance. They got him on the ground.
30 yards away from giving Cleveland the lead. Don Cockcroft. And the Browns convert the turnover into 3 in a battle of field goals. 5:44 remaining in the first half. The Cleveland Browns leading the Pittsburgh Steelers 6-3. And the Browns have had 2 touchdowns called back by penalty. Cleveland dominating possession, Merlin. 35 plays to the Steelers 14.
Very interesting stat. You don't like to see that if you happen to be the Pittsburgh defensive coach.
Anderson to return Cockcroft's kick. He hit this one well. And out to the 25 comes Larry Anderson. Some of the fans across way felt there was a little extracurricular activity. Tom London, 40, made the stop.
You get a little look on the side there as Maxson is trying to get himself in there to throw a block. He just comes back a little bit extra on the end of it. And that's Ricky Jones, number 47, who was drafted because of his special team prowess. He's not going to have any part of that. And Cleveland won't back down. And you got to give him credit for that. Pittsburgh tries to intimidate you. That's one of their favorite ploys. If we look at one of the
Tom Sullivan, number 26
on the ground. That's not good news. They're not deep in that offensive back department at all. They can't afford to lose another with Pruitt out for a period of time. I started to say, Dick, one of the things that Pittsburgh has done so well over the years is just to physically intimidate people. And they're strong enough physically that they can get you on the line and hammer on you. One of the few teams, according to them, that will stand head-to-head with them, toe-to-toe with them, is Cleveland. Even though they haven't had as much strength, perhaps, in material, they're not afraid to stand up there and say, hey, you hit me, I'm going to hit you back.
All right, the score here is 6-3, 5.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Other reports, the Redskins leading the Jets 10-3. That's in the second quarter. Houston scores in the second period in the Dome, cutting the Rams' lead to 7. Baltimore has scored in the second quarter. We get a late report. Baltimore has just scored 2 second quarter touchdowns to tie the Bills at 14. Philadelphia trying to surprise Miami 7-3 in the second quarter.
Now that's not good news for the Browns, as Sullivan not carrying himself off the field. He's got a leg that's up in the air. Watch 26. There he is right there, and oof, it's no wonder that he couldn't get out of there. Just pinned in the traffic, and again, I go back to what I said earlier. The knee just wasn't meant for the game of football, and that's 2 very costly injuries in this game so far for Cleveland.
Now Terry Bradshaw, the Steelers trailing for the first time, 6-3 at the 25. Harris up the middle. Only a couple. The Browns have done an excellent job of choking off the Pittsburgh running game. Dick Ambrose, 52 from Virginia. The middle backer who beat out Bob Babbage as a rookie in 75, made the stop.
You try and pick out a star on this defensive team. It's not easy to do, but they're a well-balanced unit. They play together, they hustle, and they hit. And that's the defensive game. That's what it's all about.
2nd and 8. Rocky Bleier. Across the 30 to the 31. Joe Jones made the tackle, and a flag goes down. Might have been a late hit.
We talked to you about the importance of pursuit from the middle linebacking position. And, of course, Lambert doesn't have all of the pursuit. Here's 52, Bam Bam Ambrose. And watch him as he reads the play. Now, his job is to get to the outside, to get through the traffic. That's Harris trying to knock him down. Gets away from that block, chasing Rocky Bleier down. He's going to get a part of that tackle on the outside. And you saw the face mask right at the top. Somebody had a hand in the mask, and that's going to be the penalty right there. It's a 5-yarder, not a flagrant foul, but still a first and 10.
54, Joe Jones, I believe.
Yes, was Turkey Jones.
Called for the...
Boy, look at the penalty call, Dick. 8 for 70 yards. Wow.
And many of those personal fouls indicative of the rough nature of this one. Bleier. First down play for about 4 to the 40. Ambrose again on the tackle along with Earl Edwards. Now Pittsburgh apparently deciding to try to grind it out, trailing 6-3 as Bradshaw staying on the ground in this drive, has improved field position, and another Browns player is down, Earl Edwards, injured on that last tackle.
Sam Davis just peeled back on Earl Edwards, number 66, and just clocked him. I'll tell you, that a violent peel back block. You see it right just at the top of your screen, right there. That's 72 Mullins rather than Davis, but he caught him looking at the play. One of the standard rules for defensive players: don't stand around a pile, keep moving, and you see why right there.
Edwards just shaken is okay. Second down 6. Bradshaw is the first player back in 70 by Chuck Noll. It was his first chance to get that number 1 man, and that is Mr. Franco Harris, another number 1 pick, slamming forward for a first down at the 46 of the Steelers.
You understand why the Cleveland Browns put that high priority on stopping Franco Harris, especially on the inside. A great mix of speed and strength and size. Has to rank as one of the greatest backs of all time in my book.
Earl Edwards, 66, is back in at left tackle for the Browns. First down at the 46 of the Steelers. Harris right into the arms of Dick Ambrose, who's able to pull him back into the Steeler backfield. Ambrose having a big game at middle backer.
That was number 74. Mike St. Clair made just a fine play on that last. That was a trap by Mullins coming from the inside. We've got a Steeler on the ground right now. That's
55, John Cole.
Yeah, it's John Cole. But Cole has had a neck problem. He's had a pinched nerve in his neck. He's been playing hurt, Dick, and you can see he's in pain right now. He's got a collar around his neck, which he was trying to protect that pinched nerve in his neck with the collar. Apparently got his head pushed off to one side, and I'm sure we'll see John back in the game. But boy, that's a painful injury. I went through that a few times myself.
Kolb is the strongest of the Steeler linemen. He's replaced by 66 Ted Peterson. 2nd and 9. Garden bluffing that safety blitz. No, he's coming on the blitz, and he's picked off, but someone else gets in. Down at the 38-yard line as the Browns have their 9th sack of this young season, Charlie Hall. So they have the safety man and the linebacker coming.
They have an interesting way of playing that. If the back goes in to pick up the safety, the linebacker is free to come automatically. And smart defensive football by the Browns, and it pays off in a very big sack and very long yardage for Bradshaw.
Mike Adamle, Brian Gumbel standing by at halftime with all the scores and highlights of the early action in the NFL today. So stay with us at halftime. Chris Barr has kicked the field goal for Cincinnati, and the Bengals now lead New Orleans 13-7. 3rd and 17. Bradshaw getting away. And out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Right on his heels, Mike St. Clair, 245-pound defensive end, and he was staying with Bradshaw step for step. And Terry glad to have his heels intact as he skipped out of bounds at the Cleveland bench, and the Steelers will have to punt it away.
Browns in a 3-4 alignment, getting excellent pressure, beating Mike Webster on the nose, which hasn't been an easy task. He certainly plays that position as well as anyone around, able to force Bradshaw out of the pocket and run him off to the sideline.
Greg Colquitt will get rid of the ball about as quickly as any punter in the NFL. And you heard the call, short and out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. It'll be around the 30. They'll make that the 27-yard line, Cleveland possession. As we approach the 2-minute warning, Colquitt not too happy about the direction on that last one.
And the reason for the short call, Dick, sometimes a very short kick, your coverage will overrun it, and a smart defensive back can slip up through there and catch it and
and there's nobody there to tackle him. So that call, I'm sure, came from the sideline. Very alertly, some of the players, perhaps some of the coaches, warning the coverage team that it was going to be short.
Well, the Browns with a 6-3 lead and 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half had the possession. Undoubtedly, they'd like to run out the clock. That's Logan in motion, and Pruitt running the other way, where Taves has him. No gain. Mel Blount assisting on the tackle.
Banaszak got excellent pressure, forced Pruitt deep, and then, of course, the pursuit from the inside. Taves, 51, and Blount coming out. Blount forces so well from the corner. One of the things that Pittsburgh has been blessed with is very physical defensive backs. They'll give you a lot of trouble.
Sipe with 2 minutes left in the first half to visit with his coaches. Cleveland leads Pittsburgh 6-3. 2 minutes remaining in the first half here at Three Rivers Stadium, where Cleveland has never won. 8 straight victories for the Steelers, who have basically dominated everyone here at home.
They certainly have, Dick, but they have not dominated the Cleveland Browns here today. In fact, the Browns have given a very good accounting of themselves, offensively and defensively.
They've controlled the football, as that statistic would indicate. 2nd and 10 for Brian Sipe. Dumps it off to Pruitt. And Pruitt can't get away from number 56, Robin Cole. Broke his arm in the opener against the 49ers last year, and has that right arm, forearm bandaged. He said he was still feeling some pain this year, so they've tried a new bandage.
Well, I think he's had some problems with it today, too. I saw Dirk Winston in there a couple of plays for him, so he might be having trouble. They got Ozzie Newsome free on that down the field, and that was, I think, the primary receiver, but they just did not have time to get him the ball, Dick, and that's been one of the problems for Sipe. If you can't give him time to throw it, there's no way that he can get it off. Had to dump it off to Pruitt.
Clock running, 1:18, 1:17 left. Tony Dungy, 5th defensive back in for Cole, so him leave. Draw. Pruitt to the 30, short of the first down, and the Steelers will call time, stopping the clock with 1 minute 8 seconds left in the half, and they're about to get the football. And of course, the clock stops automatically on change of possession, and Bradshaw should have pretty good field position. Back goes Randy Rudershan, a rookie, to return the punt, and we'll see if the Steelers go after the kicker, Evans.
Evans has had his trouble today, and it's an interesting story. A lot of Cleveland fans upset when Evans was kept as a punter, but he's done a good job. His average is not bad at all. One of the things that we'd have to note about him is that he's trying to replace Greg Coleman, who was very, very popular as a punter in Cleveland. And Coleman, of course, specialized in the out-of-bounds kicks. This youngster may be able to replace him if he keeps working.
He drives a good spiral to Rudershan, 22-yard line. And there's no blocking for Rudershan as he goes down at the 26-yard line. It's 6-3. Steelers trailing the Browns here in Pittsburgh. Now let's go to the nation's capital. Kurt Gowdy, John Brody. The Jets are playing the Redskins.
Intercepted by Lamar Parrish, and how they had Walker covered. He was double teamed down there in the corner. They were right on him.
That's why we haven't seen an awful lot of Wesley Walker today.
We want to welcome the fans who have been watching the Cleveland-Pittsburgh game. We're here in Washington, D.C., and we're in a 4th down situation for the New York Jets. 10-3 is the score. The Redskins leading. Here's Lamar Parrish. Watch this last play covering Wesley Walker.
It is not Lamar's job to cover him all by himself. He's got help to both the inside and the outside. He can take a few chances. You see Williams back there covering in case he misses.
We're going back now to the fans of the Cleveland-Pittsburgh game. We'll retain our own network here. In the meantime, the Redskins have just called a timeout, so they have 2 timeouts left.
Here at Three Rivers Stadium on first down, Bradshaw hit as he was trying to throw long, and on the play holding against Pittsburgh. So from the 26-yard line, ball marked back to the 16, and with just 50 seconds remaining in the half and that deep in their own end, Merlin will see what kind of gambling mood, if he is in one or not, Chuck Noll's position will be.
They're getting great pressure. The Cleveland line putting all kinds of pressure on Terry. I don't imagine he's going to gamble too much this close to his own goal line.
Draw to Harris, and the Browns were looking for Earl Edwards.
Big
right
play.
there.
Big play by Earl Yes, talking to him before the game, he was certain of one thing. He said, "We're going to give it what we got." He said, I love to come to play in this game because it's so emotional and it's so exciting for me." And he just made one of the fine plays of the day, stopping that draw. I think you're right. I think they were looking for it, though.
Edwards migrating to Cleveland by way of San Francisco and Buffalo. Bradshaw to the sidelines with 40 seconds remaining. And
the Steelers a little bit lethargic. I think they're going to have to get it on the second half or they're going to be in trouble.
Swann right, Stallworth left, and Bradshaw is going to gamble. Batted by 52 Ambrose, and Stallworth thought that was still a live ball. It did not hit the turf, and he made the catch, but apparently somewhere in between that ball did hit the carpet.
I think Stallworth tried to make a case for the fact that it was bouncing off his leg and not off the turf, but the official in a good position, not blocked by Stallworth's body, said nope, that one was on the turf.
Let's watch how that linebacker covers.
Ambrose doing a good job. He's very deep on this one and able to get his hand on it. Unfortunately, he'd like to knock that one down rather than up. And you see the ball bounce up off the turf right there. Stallworth making his little appeal, but just like baseball, the official said, nope, wrong.
Bradshaw again from inside his 5-yard line trying to throw. Now he has time and finds a man open short of the first down, Swann. 29-yard line. Clock stopped as the Browns will get the ball apparently on the punt as in comes the rookie kicker Craig Colquitt for the Steelers.
And you have to know that Terry Bradshaw did a great job of ducking under the rush of Turkey Jones. Jones, number 64, one of the fine rushers on this Cleveland team. Got in very quickly. Bradshaw smartly pulled his head down, rolled underneath his arm, and Turkey went away slapping his hands. Duck. How could I do that? How could I miss him?
That's the youngster right. Remember, in a fair catch in this situation, if it's a short high kick, then you have a free kick, and so close to the end of the half, then you can just tee it up, and if you drive it through, you get 3 more points.
I wouldn't be surprised, Dick, to see them come after the punt here, too. They really don't have that much to lose. That little time left on the clock in the position where they might be able to get something done that way.
Another exciting action already underway in the National Football League, and we'll have all the scores and highlights for you. Halftime on NFL 78. 23 seconds left.
Ooh, they were coming.
He's not going to call. Yes, he does call for the fair catch. Now, that's a long way away at the 32-yard line. Say that ball's up around the 45, then there's nothing the defense can do. You can tee it up, and just like kicking off, if it goes through the uprights, you get that almost a free field goal.
One of the advantages of Colquitt, as we told you earlier, he's a 2-step kicker, which means he can get up closer to take his snap. He gets the ball off just very quickly. Almost impossible to block one of his punts, and that's, of course, a great advantage to a team to have a kicker with that kind of capability.
And that was one of the attractions in selecting him so high, the Steelers picking him in the 3rd round out of Tennessee. Time for a couple of plays for Sipe. And he's going to take to the air. Man open. And it's Logan out of bounds at the 42-yard line of Pittsburgh. 7 seconds left. Time for a possible quick out, and then if it's successful, get Cockcroft in for a field goal attempt.
Still not into field goal range. Sipe gets all kinds of time to throw this football, and it's been rather interesting to me. He's had a lot more time to throw today than Bradshaw has. Finds his receiver on the sideline, Logan. Now watch Logan pay for catching this pass. That's Wagner coming in from behind him. Logan steps in right there and steps out.
7 seconds left. And Sipe looking for that one more completion. 4-3. This is going to be the last play of the first half. So now he has to go all the way with it. And out of bounds, and that'll be it for the first 30 minutes. And again, Sipe allowed tremendous time while he scrambled looking for an open white shirt.
Long stretch of season ahead of them, and 16 games instead of 14, Dick. It's got to be a real concern.
And repeating, of course, along with Jack Lambert's 58 familiar figure there on your screen, Jack Ham, 59, not in uniform today. The Steelers hope he'll be ready from that groin injury in their game next Sunday.
Well, I think Steve Burness is also in the same situation. He's on the sideline and not playing. If this were a championship game, we'd see both of them, and they probably would play. But the Steelers know it's a long season, and they're not about to take a chance of losing a Jack Ham for the year because they pushed him back in a little early.
So we're set for the second half. Don Cockroft to kick off to Larry Anderson. Anderson, the rookie from Louisiana Tech. It was his fumble on a vicious hit off a kickoff that led to the go-ahead field goal by the Browns in the second quarter. Lights are on at Three River Stadium on a gray afternoon. Anderson at the 12. Out to the 32-yard line, and for a moment that ball was precariously away from the body of Anderson, but no one could strip it away. Ron Bolton, 28, made the stop.
Chuck Noll indicated that one of the weaknesses he wanted to shore up last year was his special teams. Anderson was one of the acquisitions that was to help that. They have been better in the early going, but they have paid a price today for that costly fumble, put them behind.
Harris gained 24 yards rushing, 2.4 average in the first half, and Bleier only 9 yards on the ground. It's Harris, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage as diving through the hole, that middle linebacker. No, it's Charlie Hall knifing in from the left side to make the stop. And when Harris gets the ball, he draws a crowd.
He surely has drawn it today. And again, Cleveland playing smart defense. They realize that that is the favorite play for Pittsburgh. They'd stacked their linebackers. Charlie Hall making a very quick reaction up inside and putting Franco on the ground.
2nd and 10. Little dump pass to Harris, and he's tripped up at the 36-yard line, a gain of only 4. Here's a startling statistic, Merlin. Jack Frotte handing us this note, that in the first half officially, the Steelers had total net yards, offense 79, penalty yards 80. So they were a -1. They had 1 more yard in penalties than they had total offense.
One of the things that makes that interesting to me is that previously against the Browns, Franco Harris had been averaging 5.3 yards per carry, just barely over 2 today.
3rd and a short 6. Screen to the tight end Cunningham. He's tough to bring down. One man to beat, Darden. And he's finally down at the 32-yard line. Darden tripped him up. Cunningham, the biggest tight end in the NFL.
He's been banging people around all year. Smart call by Bradshaw. Pulls the offense or the defensive line in, and then Cunningham is just going to go into his act here. Turkey Jones gets a piece of him, and that's Bam Bam Ambrose really unloading on him, but he just kept going down and down and down. That's a great play by Cunningham.
Well, the Steelers trailing 6-3 on that long gainer, 31 yards. Have a first down in Browns territory. It's Bleier. Inside the 30, Earl Edwards wraps him up. Jerry Shirk assisting on the tackle.
Let's go back and watch Ambrose all the way. Of course, he's one of the fine hitters on this Cleveland team, dropping first in reaction to what looks like a pass. Now he reads the screen, comes quickly to the outside. His job, of course, is to get the hit, to get the tackle. Now watch how hard he hits Cunningham. He really unloads on him. Cunningham right there. Cunningham just so strong that he's able to keep his balance, pull out of that arm tackle, and head on down the field. That's amazing.
Bradshaw, 2nd and 7. Oh, Charlie Hall had read it beautifully, made his move, thought he had the interception, but those heavily wrapped hands sometimes defy your best intent.
And again, another look at it. Bradshaw able to not to get the first pass off, rolls outside, and this is something they didn't want to let him do. You see the end staying out there. Boy, he'll dream about that one. He'll see that one 5 or 6 times in the middle of the night tonight, I guarantee you.
With that long gainer to Cunningham, Bradshaw over the 14,000-yard mark. Long way from Tarkenton, who's up in the 40s. Big play. 3rd and 7. At the Cleveland 29, make it to 28.5. Backs are in the pattern. That's Cunningham. Oh, what a play by number 28, Ron Bolton. Like a bolt flying out of that secondary to tap it away just when it appeared that Cunningham had a first down.
And we've seen some big plays out of Bolton today. Watch it. Looks like Cunningham has it all to himself. Bolton stretching with everything he had to bat that ball away. Interesting, too. Bolton is playing on the right side after being on the left earlier in the year.
I guess he feels like he's back at home. He played there in college and earlier. Seems to be much more happy on that side.
Oliver Davis with a dislocated elbow, the right cornerback, is out for 4 to 6 weeks. Gerela to try to tie it up. 46 yards away. Colquitt to hold. No good. He misses to the left. And some of the Bluebirds cry out here at Three Rivers Stadium. Timeout. 3 minutes into the second half. Cleveland hangs on to that 3-point lead.
When my husband came to work here, they gave him a life insurance policy. He said, if anything happens to me, at least you and the kids will be okay. And that's what I thought, until he died. And the life insurance that seemed like so much when we talked about it isn't nearly enough now that we need it.
Sometimes a man can provide for his family, yet not really provide enough. Talk to us at Money about your life insurance needs. Mutual of New York. Money for the future.
Noisy gang is headed into town. Time for the Arrestor. The Arrestor zinc-coated double-wrap muffler from Kmart. Have it installed by Kmart. And if anything goes wrong, they'll replace it free for as long as you own your American-made car.
Like other great car products, it's Kmart price.
Kmart's Arrestor. A very inexpensive way to lock away noise.
The television premiere of The Other Side of the Mountain.
I'm going to walk out of this place.
The true story of love and courage that thrilled America's moviegoers tonight at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
The Pittsburgh Steeler Brain Trust, Noel and Bradshaw, trying to come up with some answers. Baseball, the Angels playing in mourning. Lyman Bostock, their brilliant outfielder, killed last night, leading the White Sox. First down play, no room for Pruitt, who led the Browns in the first half with 24 yards. Yankees in a scoreless tie at Cleveland in the third. And Boston has rallied from a 2-0 early Toronto lead to tie the Blue Jays at 3 in the fourth.
Doug Deacon had just driven Dwight White down the field about 6 yards on that last play and dumped him. There's a little emotion still pumping out there. I think it's going to be up to the Steeler defense to make a couple of big plays here to get them back on track.
Sipe under pressure. Greenwood gets in from behind. Dwight White assisting the second Steeler sack. Fans love their steel curtain.
Well, L.C. Greenwood, when he's healthy, and he had a tough time getting healthy this last year, is one of the fine pass rushing defensive ends in football. You saw it right there coming all the way around. Barry Darrow just not physically a match for L.C., as very few offensive tackles are. They've been trying to protect very early. They've done a good job. But on that particular play, L.C. did his thing and put him on the ground.
Now Sipe facing a 3rd and 15. Good protection. And an open man is Reggie Rucker, first down at the 42. 3rd down long, and Sipe finds Rucker open in the slot.
Well, they can say what they want about Sipe's lack of strength in his throwing arm. He's certainly given us every reason to believe he can get it to an open receiver. And Reggie Rucker, who's gotten open a lot of times this year for Cleveland, got open there. Sipe had time to throw, and again, I emphasize that because one of the things you got to do as a defense is to put the pressure on that quarterback, and he got it to the open man.
Now the Browns improved their field position out near their own 42. We're in the third quarter, 10.5 minutes remaining. 6-3 Cleveland. Small hole, and squirting forward is Pruitt for a couple. Lauren Taves, Greenwood, and Banaszak in on the stop. Sam Ratigliano, 46-year-old graduate of Tulsa University, born in Brooklyn, and he has his Browns out of the gate, and they're sprinting 3-0 and lead 6-3 here in the third quarter.
Great start for them.
Rucker left, Newsom the tight end to the left, and wide right is Logan. 2nd and 8. Greenwood, Bulldog, tight to the ground, and a flag on Dwight White for a late hit. White, number 68, gets a personal foul.
LC is hot. I don't blame him. You work that hard to get a sack, and then somebody, without thinking, dives on top of a quarterback. You not only lose the sack, you lose the yardage. Watch it again. LC Greenwood, number 68, coming hard to the outside. Sipe trying to get away. LC's just got too much of those long arms. Pulls him to the ground. Now watch number 78, White, coming from the outside, and he just spears him. Good call by the official. That's not good football.
So Dwight White guilty of that personal foul. And the mark-off of 15 yards brings it to the 44 of Cleveland. And White has to be scolding himself now underneath that mask. Let's see how he works this time. You know he's going to be coming hard. Ricky Feature, 83, wide receiver, into the ball game, and he is slotted on the left side. Back to the air, Sipe. Looking for Feature, and it's broken up by Donnie Shell. Shell, who intercepted Sipe's first play pass of the game.
Sipe, of course, a little bit upset with himself that he didn't get a little more on that ball, but he was well covered. No chance for Feature to do his thing, pull that pass in as he trots off the field, and Reggie Rucker comes back into the game.
It appeared that Logan running the sidelines route was wide open.
Be great if the quarterback had enough eyes to follow all those receivers, wouldn't it?
That's true. 2nd and 10. Screen incomplete to Newsom. And Shell, look where he was. The strong safety was 5 yards into the backfield of the Browns as he read that screen all the way. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is 11 Alive, WIC TV Pittsburgh.
On that last play, Dwight White, of course, coming very emotionally, charged up, and it was interesting. Doug Deacon knew he was all puffed up, just dove down, took his legs out from underneath him. Smart heads-up play by the offensive lineman.
Tony Dungy, the 5th defensive back, number 21 in for Pittsburgh. 3rd and 10 call, and that's Newsom. In trouble. Just got it away as Greenwood buried Sipe, and the ball flopped incomplete downfield. And look at Banaszak, 76. He's a cheerleader saying, "Come on, fans, let's get going." You ever do that?
No, but I'd say there's nothing a Cleveland boy would rather do than beat the Browns. Maybe that's what he's saying.
9-man rush against Evans. Now they have the return on. Short kick. Rudersham. And what a tackle by Ricky Feature back at the 22-yard line. Feature, the wide receiver, a good play. 33-yard punt. The Steelers have the ball. The Browns have the lead.
You're out here. Your toolbox is back there. Be glad you got a Crescent adjustable wrench.
When you're up here and your toolbox is down there, be glad you got a Crescent adjustable wrench.
Crescent, one tool that adjusts to fit many different size nuts, even metrics. But it's not a Crescent unless it says Crescent on the handle. For a limited time.
And we'll have 3 big games for you next Saturday on NBC. One of the things that has characterized this Pittsburgh team early in the season, their ability to go for the touchdown on a long drive. We'll show you that statistic again. Their shortest drive has been 50 yards to a touchdown. They're looking for their first score by touchdown today. Bradshaw, great throw to Harris as Bradshaw was hit. Went down in the arms of Mac Mitchell and still threw a strike to Harris.
Boy, that's so tough for a quarterback to stand in there that long and drop it over. There's the statistic we talked about. Now that's amazing. Hey, the shortest one from 50 yards, drives going all the way up to 80 and 89 yards. Interesting, though, today they have not been able to put those drives together, and that's the difference in the ballgame.
6-3 Cleveland. Steelers have it 2nd and 5. Harris again. Oh, what a move. And a first down out to the 33-yard line. Did he put a zig and then a zag on someone on that left side?
That was Mac Mitchell. We'll give you a chance to look at it. Little stutter step. Starts to the right. Goes back under the trap block by 72 Mullins. Now watch the little outside fake.
Mitchell put his head down, and there was nobody home. Franco Harris, he's amazingly quick for a big man.
6'2" and 225. He now has 30 yards rushing. The top ball carrier in the game. Bradshaw looking for Swann. No, it's Stallworth. Complete. First down at the incomplete. The side judge says no possession. Stallworth thought he had a legal catch.
Stallworth is saying, wait a second, you saw me. It was in the air. I had it.
I thought he did too. I wonder what the replay will show.
Stallworth has done a great job during this season. Here's a chance for you to look at it at home. Now watch Stallworth. He makes a great diving grab. Does the ball touch the ground or not? It does. I think it does. Good call by the official. We got to give them credit when they make a good one, and they did right there.
You bet.
Here's another quick look at it. Watch it now. He looks like he just pins it as it touches the turf. Right there.
Even though he had both hands on the ball, if it's touching the ground simultaneously, that's not a complete pass. 3-man rush for the Browns. 4 linebackers. Babbage is in. Draw to Harris to the 37, a gain of 4. Update from Philadelphia. Mike Hogan has just scored for the Eagles, who jump in front of Miami 14-3. Tremendous parity in the NFL this year, Merlin. Every week we're going to see some big surprises. A lot of good teams, a lot of good players.
Of course, one of the early equalizers has been the number of injuries, Dick. The number of people that have gone down, especially the number of quarterbacks that have gone down.
Third down, 6. Double wing. Harris stays in to block. Wide open is Lynn Swann. That'll be a first down at the 47 of Pittsburgh. That's Swann with one of his graceful, gliding, leaping catches.
We're going to give you an isolate. Watch the beauty of Lynn Swann winning a batter. Swann down, cuts hard across the middle. Got his eyes right on the quarterback. Goes up, just gracefully receives that ball, comes down, takes a good shot in there. That's number 40, Tom London, who unloaded on him. Bradshaw doing a fine job of evading the pressure, getting away, and Swann making one of those great catches.
Live action, first down, and Bradshaw going for the bomb to Swann. Picked off by Darden. 30, 40, and out of bounds at the 45 goes Tom Darden, who leads the National Football League. That is his 4th interception of this young season. Darden's 29th in his Cleveland career, and a big play for the Browns.
Darden had it all the way, just like a center fielder. Read it, just waited for it, swept in front, took it away from Swann, and up the sideline he went.
Double coverage. Bradshaw had Swann beating the cornerback, but there's Darden playing that deep center.
Watch how Darden reads it. See how he just waits, and then at the last second, right up in front of Swann, snags it right out of his hand. That's a pretty play.
Had to be frustrating for Swann. I think he thought he had a touchdown.
He didn't see Darden.
Cleveland on the turnover has the ball at their own 44. Oh, what a pop. Lambert into Collins. No gain.
Lambert's talking a bit down there. He's trying to get him pumped up. People respond to that. That's one of his great values to this team. He's a very emotional player, and one of the reasons that he's so effective in the middle is he plays with emotion.
A quarterback in high school before he went to Kent State. Lambert loves to drop that shoulder and pound the ball carrier. 2nd and 9. Screen to Mike Pruitt. And Mike Wagner knocks him toward the sidelines and out of bounds at midfield, short of the first down. Well, in the second quarter, Kansas City and Jim Turner's toe, 42 yards. Field goal gives the Broncos a 10-7 lead.
Is Turner still kicking in his high tops, or is he still in his... He's gone to his low cuts, huh? Well, that's interesting. Tigliano, of course, more interested in what's happening right out here in front of him. And the Browns starting to move the football.
3rd and 5, the ball at the 49. 5 defensive backs for Pittsburgh. Safety blitz. That's feature interference against Ron Johnson. Johnson says to feature, I didn't do it. Feature said, look at that yellow thing on the carpet.
Boy, that's a tough call. Johnson, excellent coverage. They had great pressure on Sipe. Did a marvelous job of getting that ball off on target. And Johnson really felt like he got jobbed on that one. We'll just show you the end of that play where Johnson is right on top of the receiver. Felt like he got the hit on time. We'll give you a look at it right here.
Tough to read from that
angle, but I think the official who was right there probably made a good call on it. And there you get the word right there. Ricky said, "You hit me early." Johnson said, "No, man, I was right there. I had it on time."
Well, the Steeler fans unhappy. 5:40 remaining in the third quarter. Look at that statistic. The Steelers have been their own worst enemy today. And around, Reggie Rucker. Down at the 22 in the hold of Lauren Taves.
Let's give Mel Blount some credit for coming up and putting the pressure on him on the outside, making it possible for Taves to have time to make that inside-out play. Fine tackle.
Yardage of nearly 5. Call it second and a long 5 for Brian Sipe, who played his college ball at San Diego State. His career passing percentage, 56%. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, that's interesting. The Steelers have just called timeout. L.C. Greenwood is upset. Apparently, Lambert feels they need a little time to regroup down there.
So, with a break in the action, 5 minutes left in the third quarter. The Browns trying to figure a way to add to their lead. It's 6-3 Cleveland late in the third quarter. Veteran offensive tackle John Kolb, who left the game, re-entering that pinched nerve in the neck. We do not know if he will play anymore this afternoon.
Looks like he's in pain, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Pittsburgh, 153 yards of work on their own on offense, and then minus 118 penalties. Bad statistic. Sipe on 2nd and 5 has a man open. Good recovery by Johnson, the rookie, as Rucker, and now it's Johnson saying he interfered with me.
Rucker doing what a good receiver must do. If he can't get that football, he's got to keep that defensive back from getting it. Smart call again. Sipe calling a good game. Goes deep, tries to get him, tried a little hard inside move, going back outside. Johnson right on it. Now watch the reaction as he gets up off the ground. He's saying, "Come on, you call it on me, call it on him. For heaven's sake." Young man very upset.
He's on a pogo stick. 3rd and 5 at the Pittsburgh 22. Down goes Sipe. White makes the hit. It appeared that might have been a quarterback draw, the way Sipe took that little false step.
Either that, Dick, or he may have seen the pressure breaking in on the outside with both of those defensive ends coming hard and knew he had nowhere to go.
They're going to call it a sack. That would be the 4th of the game for the Steelers, their 11th of the year. And Sipe holding that left hand awkwardly as he leaves the field. We'll keep our eyes on it. Tucking to score, Tony Frisch, 4th quarter field goal to cut the Rams' lead to 10-6. Houston's 2 scores on field goals. We've had nothing but field goals here. A 41-yard attempt by Cockroft. Right down the middle. Cleveland 9, Pittsburgh 3. 4.5 minutes remaining. Sipe may be hurt. We'll have that report when we return.
I can't believe they can do it for $19.99.
Installed? The aluminized Sears muzzler is only $19.99 installed. And read the muzzler promise.
Sears promises that the muzzler will last as long as you own your American-made car.
Or return it for refund or replacement.
Cockroft tees it up. His 3 field goals from 46, 30, and 43 yards. The difference, 9-3, as Pittsburgh trails and Larry Anderson waits at the 4-yard line for the Steelers. Sun breaking through here at Three Rivers Stadium. From the 3. Anderson has some blockers. Out to the 34-yard line, and Tom London, along with Ron Bolton, to make the hit.
Sipe apparently not injured badly. That would be a a real shocker if he was. He was hurt in both Pittsburgh games last year. Early, he hurt his shoulder, and took him a while to get over an arm and shoulder injury. I believe Steve Burness hit him. And, of course, the one we talked about at the lead of the show where he was badly banged up and missed a number of games at the end of the season after the second game against Pittsburgh.
Good news for the Steelers. John Cole, 55, is in there at left tackle. Inside handoff on the trap, and that's Franco. Harris first down at the 46. Tony Peters from strong safety to make the hit.
Super trap on the inside. Sam Davis trapping number 64. Turkey Jones. Watch Ambrose trying to get out. And that's 79, Larry Brown, sealing him off. Boy, that's a great play. Great block by Larry Brown. Of course, Franco doing what he has to do when there's a hole open, and that's get as much as he possibly can.
Tight end, 89, Cunningham on the left side. Swann right, Stallworth left. Harris. 50 and out of bounds at the Cleveland 45. Good game by Harris. Mitchell ran him out of bounds.
The offensive linemen have to do more than just block on the line of scrimmage. Occasionally they've got to get out. Watch number 55, John Cove, get out and lead this sweep. Very unusual play for the tackle to lead. Cove gets out to the outside, shields off Tony Peters, keeps his feet, gets up, shields again. That's Ron Bolton. He's going after number 27, Tom Dart. Great job of blocking. And all of that when you got a neck that's just about killing you.
That's right. Almost a hat trick for John Cole. 2 blocks and smelling the third. Harris plowing forward and a first down to the 39 before Shirk could make the tackle. And Franco, Harris are starting to rumble. At Buffalo, Tony Linhart, 21-yard field goal for the Bills. And they lead the Colts by a touchdown, 24-17. Philadelphia advances over Miami in the fourth quarter on a Mickemeyer field goal, 17-3 in Cincinnati. In search of its first win, has a 6-point lead in the fourth quarter. Denver, Kansas City tied up before the half. First down play. And again, it's Harris right up the middle. Another first down for the Steelers, and Harris ripping up big chunks of yardage.
The Pittsburgh Steelers can get you so many different ways. They run about 6 or 7 different kinds of traps. This is their favorite, the quick trap right up the center. Mullins shielding off Ambrose, and Franco Harris making a brilliant reaction to those blocks. Gets big yardage up the middle.
Harris more yardage in this drive than the entire first half.
Look at that hole. Boy, that's pretty. That was Sam Davis coming over to do the trapping on that one.
Harris again. Inside the 25, a gain of about 4. Charlie Hall made the stop, number 59. Earl Edwards on the assist. So Harris, a slow first half, but this has been a big drive for him, and he's moving toward that 100-yard game that is so familiar to his pattern.
We're going to give you another look at that trap from the ground level where we get right down where the action is. Now watch the trap coming from the inside. That's Sam Davis, 67, coming over. Right here, he's going to trap 64, Turkey Jones. You see 79, Larry moving in, Larry Brown moving to the inside. And boy, they opened the hole between the two of them.
Quick toss to Bleier, but Mitchell just as quick to get out there and drag him down. Mac Mitchell, number 70, 6'7 and a half from Houston. This Cleveland Brown front wall of Jones, Edwards, Shirk, and Mitchell, their average height is 6'6 and a quarter. Tallest line in football. That's taller than the University of Kentucky basketball team that won the NCAA championship.
And he used all of that height and those long arms to get a hold of Rocky Bleier and pull him down for a loss. Very big play down there right now.
3rd and 8. Both wide receivers to the right. It appeared that Jones was offside. First down at the 14 to Swann. In heavy traffic, Tom London made the tackle. We got Ron Bolton.
In talking to the Cleveland Browns, of course, they knew that Swann was the favorite receiver and that's the guy they would like to go to. There's the call. Offside, of course, refused because of the big gain on the play. But even though they know who Bradshaw wants to go to on those big downs, pretty hard to stop a combination like that when the timing is so perfect and when Swann is just so elusive.
Number 38, Sidney Thornton, ducking his head into the Pittsburgh huddle. He's 5'11", 230. Swann and Stallworth to the right with Stallworth in the slot. Thornton and Harris, the running backs. First down. Harris breaks 2 tackles, but down at the 16 as Clarence Scott comes up from the corner to make the stop.
Interesting. That's one of the things the Browns said they hoped they could do defensively, was force Franco Harris to run laterally to the line of scrimmage. They said if we can make him run laterally, we can stop him. And boy, I'll tell you, earlier in this drive when he got up the field, they couldn't stop him. They got him to go laterally on that one, and they finally got him stopped.
Now, we talked about Pittsburgh's ability to develop a long touchdown drive, and they've got one brewing. But a loss on first down makes it 2nd and 12. Bradshaw. Right through the arms of the Cleveland defender and then right down the basket of Cunningham, the tight end, number 89. It appeared to have interception written all over it.
Let's let you look at it. Ground level. Terry Bradshaw, I'm sure, not very happy at the way he threw that pass. As Charlie Hall just misjudged it slightly. And I think Tom Darden had a shot at it, too. Cunningham, the third man to have a chance at it. Boy, you wouldn't want it to be in that order. You'd like your guy to have a shot first.
Rocky Bleier returns. Thornton in for that one play. Ball at the 16, 3rd and 12. Bradshaw leading the NFL in passing going into this game. Lots of time. His way open, but by that time Bradshaw didn't have time to patiently search him out. He had to get rid of it as the Browns are closing in on him.
Swann, of course, one of the great receivers. You give him that much time, he's going to find an open spot.
Now, when we return for the start of the 4th quarter, the Steelers will see if they go for the field goal. 9-3, Cleveland after 3. 4th quarter opens in Pittsburgh. Roy Gerela, who's three-pointer in the early minutes of the game, the only Pittsburgh scoring, will try to root home a 33-yard attempt. It's there. Now the first play of the 4th quarter, Roy Gerela makes it 3-2 Cleveland in field goals as the Browns have a 9-6 lead. Let's go back to a near touchdown pass, and again the timing. Bradshaw had to unload just a fraction before he wanted to, and just missed Swann on the last play of the 3rd quarter as Swann was breaking open and just out of his reach, only because Bradshaw didn't have time. If he had one more step, that's 6 points.
There you see the man who's saying, all right, that's more like it, but we got to get more than just those 3-pointers. We need a 7-pointer. And I think Bradshaw pretty smart. Had he held that ball a fraction longer, he'd have been smeared.
There's the address, the U.S. Olympics, Post Office Box 1986, Cathedral Station, Boston. And we hope you'll send in your checks to support our American Olympians.
Of course, we're very excited here at NBC about the chance to cover those Olympics, Dick, and the chance to visit Moscow and the Soviet Union. Looking forward to that.
Indeed. And it'll be unprecedented coverage. From the sidelines, we watch Gerela kick it off. Keith Wright, Larry Collins, 2 rookies. Oh, that didn't go to 10, did it? Yes, it did. And that's going to be Pittsburgh's ball. The onside kick totally catching the Browns off guard. Robin Cole came up with a football as the element of surprise works for Pittsburgh.
I watched Gerela practice this kick yesterday for about 10 minutes and had no idea that it would be used as effectively as it was today. He just kind of punches that ball along the ground. Here it is right here. Watch it now. He just kind of punches it. See if anybody on the kicking team touches it early. I think there was a lot of talk there. He's 10 yards.
Gerela.
Well, I say that's great.
I've never seen that. Gerela, the kicker, recovered the onside kick without anyone else touching it.
That's a one-man show.
Harris trapped and dropped from Earl Edwards, number 66. So that should give the Steelers a big emotional lift. They trail by 3. Here it is. You may not see this again in 20 years. Gerela to Gerela. Get inside that 45, Roy. Now you're set, and your team has the ball.
That's the old guy so fast he can throw the pass and catch it too. Well, Gerela got down there, did a great job of making one of the biggest plays of this game so far.
Former baseball and soccer player in high school. And paid off on that play. Bradshaw. Swann. Ooh, what a hit. 42-yard line. First down, Pittsburgh. And this crowd comes to life.
Swann, of course, with his great speed, has got to scare those defensive backs. And he gave him a little ripple like he was going deep. Stopped short, cut back to the inside. He was all by himself. Swann's hand looked like it bothered him. I think he took a rap on it. That hit.
Number 83, Theo Bell, has replaced him with 5 catches today. Swann has 19 for the year. He leads the Steelers. Harris straight ahead to the 38-yard line. Ambrose, another tackle for Cleveland. He's played a fine game. Gerald Irons, assistant.
A couple of very physical linebackers. This is a well-balanced defensive team for Cleveland, and they have played extremely fine football today. I think as much as anything, they are responsible for shutting down the very potent offense that the Steelers had showed earlier.
Yeah, the Bengals have an 8-point lead.
Yeah, safety.
Bradshaw down the middle. Darden waiting in the weeds, and as Stallworth was about to latch onto that pass, that Darden ducking in and breaking it up, and may have injured Stallworth in the process. Aggressive move, Merlin.
Very aggressive. And Darden, of course, one of the most aggressive safeties in the league. Right up, strips and grips and knocks John Stallworth right to the ground. No chance to hang on to a football when you get defensive plays like that.
Darden with 1 interception today and 4 for the year, leading the NFL. He's playing great football, and many feel this is his all-pro season. 3rd and 6. Bradshaw deep. Intercepted. Is that a touchdown?
No.
It touched the ground. Incredibly, that ball juggling between Clarence Scott and Lynn Swann, and almost a freak touchdown.
Well, you want to watch some heart-stopping action. It looks like Scott is going to have that ball. It hits on the ground. If that had hit on Scott's hands instead of on the ground, Lynn Swann would have had a touchdown.
Well, Lynn Swann's going to debut as a radio commentator, sports commentator on a local radio station in Pittsburgh. He's going to have a lot to talk about tomorrow in his first show.
He sure is.
But the Steelers, after the onside kick, are unable to move the ball, and now Colquitt kicking it to Keith Wright, and Ozzie Newsome is back. Way in the air. So Rudershan just let that ball hit him in the chest, then it was down at the 7-yard line. Now that's interesting. He played that one like a goalie.
That's again Pittsburgh Steelers kicking to Pittsburgh Steelers. Great hang time that allowed Rudershan to get down there and bounce it out of bounds, or at least kill it dead.
Cleveland's ball deep in their own end. Most interesting coverage on that punt. 1, can a man catch the ball when it's his team that has punted it? Rudershan couldn't.
I've asked the question myself of the officials, and apparently it's not illegal if there's not a member of the receiving team anywhere near the ball. In other words, you can't take the opportunity away from them. If they're not there, the answer is yes.
Rudersham, although he let the ball bounce off his chest, could have caught it, and then it would have been at the 1-yard line. The Browns have a little better position at the 7. Sipe, great fake. He's in trouble. Complete at the 15 to Logan. Dave Logan from Colorado, where he was drafted by 3 different pro teams in 3 different sports. The Reds liked him in baseball, Kansas City Kings in the NBA, and of course the Browns in the NFL.
Sipe showing us a lot of cool standing back in there, Dick. He had pressure, although it was late pressure, scampered a little bit, finally spotted the open receiver, and did what he's done all day, got him the football.
Second down and 2 on a gamble throw deep in your own end, leading 9-6. Collins and Pruitt, the running backs. That's Larry Collins. And a flag is down in the backfield as Collins ducks out of bounds at the 21 with a first down, but let's see if there's a penalty against Pittsburgh. Or against Cleveland. It's a hold against the Browns.
It looks like they may have called one of the backside linemen for holding on Joe Green. Let's give the official a chance to mark it off, but again, I referred to that earlier, the fact that these Pittsburgh linemen had complained violently over the past couple of years that the way they were being held by the Cleveland Browns offensive line. Let's take a look at Joe Green here. That's 79 coming in to Jerry Sullivan coming in on the back of his legs. Now maybe they're calling it on Tom DeLeon on the outside. I don't know.
Green, 32 years old today. This is Joe's birthday. It's not much of a present we took from the city. Good move by Pruitt to get back to the 15-16-yard line. And again, Sipe throwing out of his own end zone. Sam Rutigliano indicating that he'll roll the dice.
Boy, he's not afraid to take him out anywhere. Interesting call there. Let's look on the inside of Joe Green. Again, playing that familiar spot in the gap, trying to shoot up through the inside. Sullivan doing a good job of getting the hands out on him, which is legal now, holding him off to the inside. Not much of an effective rush. And again, credit the offensive line of Cleveland with giving him time to play. And Big Joe doing the other thing he does very well. Great pursuit, in on the tackle.
That was the very first move Chuck Noll made when he became the head coach here at Pittsburgh, was to draft Joe Green. He showed good wisdom from the very start. Reverse for Newsom. He's got running room. First down at the 31. Great ball handling by Sipe, and they completely fooled the Pittsburgh defense on short yardage.
Sipe is showing us the courage of a real gambler here. Makes the toss outside. Newsom coming back, and as we said earlier, Newsom has the speed of an outside receiver, along with a great build to go with it. Scampers up the field. He's getting a great block by Jackson, 68, 73. Doug Deacon coming inside, and they were lucky to bring him down after a very healthy game.
15 yards, and Newsom has 25 yards and 2 end arounds. We're in the fourth quarter, 10 minutes remaining. The toss is to Pruitt. He draws a bunch of those black and gold bumblebees on defense for Pittsburgh. Blood and Banaszak.
One of the differences in this Pittsburgh team that is apparent to us is that they aren't making the turnovers that were so common for them in the past. They have not dominated on defense as they once did. In fact, you notice the length of those drives, Dick. One of the reasons they had to be so long was because of the fact that they aren't getting the turnovers in opponents' territory.
We have our first final of the day. Philadelphia upsets Miami 17-3. We'll have all the scores and highlights following this action on NFL Report. Sipe over the middle, and Newsom with a catch at the 46-yard line. It's a Cleveland first down after starting inside their own 10 after the punt. They lead 9-6, another final. The Rams remain unbeaten. 10-6 victory at the Houston Astrodome. They've won some low-scoring games so far.
They sure have. Some tough football for the Rams, and always a tough game when you play in the Astrodome at Houston. I guess there'll be a couple of undefeated teams going out of this day, and the battle here will decide whether it's going to be Cleveland or Pittsburgh.
They're the only two unbeaten AFC teams. The Redskins, the Bears, and the Rams, the only NFC teams without a loss. Ball at the 46-yard line. First down for the Cleveland Browns. Tom Beasley is in for John Banaszak. 76 Banaszak on the near side being attended to. The veteran lineman from Eastern Michigan looking at his shoulder. Rucker right. Logan left. Threw it up the middle. He picked his his hole and shot through the center of the Steeler defense, a la Franco Harris. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh the same. Fourth quarter. 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Cleveland Browns saw the Steelers kick an early field goal after an interception. And then Cleveland with 2 cock-draw field goals in the second quarter, another in the third. Pittsburgh on the first play of the fourth quarter, a Gerela field goal. In a battle of three-pointers, it's 9-6 Cleveland. And the Browns looking for their first win ever at Three River Stadium, have the ball in Pittsburgh territory. Larry Collins could not get around L.C. Greenwood. Greenwood holding his ground, and with that tremendous speed, just ran him out laterally, stripped him away of his blockers, and a loss to the Browns at the 42-yard line of one.
Having those long arms didn't hurt either, Dick. He just reached out there and grabbed him. I think the thing that is most impressive to us in watching this game is the fact that you'd have picked Pittsburgh to have the long drives in this game. It's Cleveland that has driven the football. You'd have thought that maybe the Pittsburgh defense would dominate. It's Cleveland's defense that's been most impressive today.
And Sipe, the man calling the shots. A great game. He's going long. Oh, an excellent try by Reggie Rucker. Went right through the fingertips. A very tough chance for Rucker, who set this 1978 goal personally for 70 catches. When he does that, he'll break a long-standing Cleveland mark. Max Speedy caught 62 back in 1952.
And Sipe getting the ball deep. One of the raps against Sipe in the past was he couldn't get the ball deep. But he's finally learned how to throw his kind of passes, the looping deep ones, as he did there, threw it perfectly. And although Ron Johnson was covering very closely, they almost had an interception on the play.
Three-man defensive line for the Steelers. Extra linebacker Winston is in. 3rd and 11. Oh, what a rush. Johnny Shell, safety man, blitzing through. And did he hit Sipe cleanly? No one touched him.
Torpedo Shell, that's the 5th sack of the day. Now watch it again. Sipe going back, apparently just has no opportunity to get away from Shell. Number 31, you see him coming right from the bottom. And if he hadn't gotten him, Jack Lambert would have.
To Sipe's credit, he was able to maintain possession of the football. So Rodershan and Terry drop back to the 11-yard line. Evans, short kick. At the 20, Terry. And a solid hit made by the Cleveland Browns, number 40, Tom London, the cornerback.
Tom London, one of the players that particularly auto-drafted to work on his special teams.
Timeout. 6.5 minutes left in this one. Cleveland protecting a 3-point lead. Here it's 9-6. Cleveland leading Pittsburgh. The safety the difference at Cincinnati, where the Bengals have their lead cut to 1. New Orleans scored on a Mike Strawn run, his second touchdown of the game. Sperry, NFL report. All the scores follow the action from Pittsburgh. That's Bradshaw. Chased from behind. Eyes in the back of his head. Jones couldn't catch him. 44-yard line before Gerald Irons can make the tackle. Almost knocked the shoes right off Bradshaw's feet.
Terry Bradshaw, of course, with the ability to run, has 4.7 speed. It's amazing. I've always accused some of these guys. There's no way he knows Turkey's there, but I think he feels him back there. And he just turns it on. Gets away from Ambrose there, gets to the outside, would like to get on the ground there, doesn't have a chance to before he takes quite a shot. That was Gerald Irons, 86, who laid it to him.
Good game by Bradshaw. Near midfield. First down at the 45. Bleier. All the way to the Cleveland 47-yard line. And the way this one's developing, we might see an extra 15-minute period if it stays true to form the way they've been kicking field goals.
Jerry Shirt came in on that last play, and Bradshaw handed off, and Shirt just leveled it. Just took him right to the ground. Boy, I tell you, that had to hurt.
Just in case he had any time in running again.
He said, I think that's saying, listen, glad you handed it off. If you had kept the ball, I really would have made it hard on you.
2nd and 2. And a first down and a flag down. Thrown by the linesman across the way. Penalties have hurt the Steelers throughout this game. Offside Cleveland. That'll bring with it a first down. They needed only 2 yards on second down. So the 5 yards down to the Cleveland 42 for its first and 10 Pittsburgh.
Offside, number 64, defense, first down.
Joe Jones jumping offside.
Quite possibly lined up offside. It's easy to do when you get into the heat of battle down there. They've been rotating some offensive or defensive linemen. Mike St. Clair in there now with Mickey Sims, Jerry Shirt, and Joe Jones. Keeping them in there, keeping them fresh.
5 minutes remaining in the game as Harris cuts to the 39-yard line. Could not get to the corner. Slipped inside, and Shirk and Ambrose teamed up on the tackle. 4:54, 4:53. Clock is running. Pittsburgh with the ball in Cleveland territory at the Browns 39. Not quite in field goal range yet. Score from Kansas City. We saw him last week. Tony Reed, a 15-yard run, and the Chiefs lead Denver 17-10.
Would that be an upset? What an exciting player that Tony Reed is. Amazing.
He made some tremendous runs last week against the Giants. Bradshaw faking to Harris. All day to throw. Stalwart. First down at the 16-yard line, and Pittsburgh pounding on the door.
Again, all kinds of time to throw, and Stalwart just rips into that little open territory. Lynn Swann deep to pull him back. Tom Dart doesn't have much of a chance, and Bolt finally comes over and puts a stopper on him. Here's another look at Bradshaw. You see how much room he has to throw that football. You cannot give Terry Bradshaw that kind of room. Otherwise, he's going to find those open receivers.
First down at the Cleveland 16. The Browns 9. The Steelers 6. 3:38 left. Franco Harris trapped and dropped for a loss at the 20-yard line. The man who made the play defensively was number 70, Mac Mitchell. He forced Harris much wider and deeper than he wanted to go, and then Gerald Irons came up to make the tackle.
Give you a ground look. Number 70, Mitchell, getting quick to the outside, reading the play. Gove is supposed to bump him a little bit if he gets in trouble. Mitchell does not make the play, but he forces Franco deep, as you said, Dick. By the time Franco can recover too many white shirts, he takes the loss.
Back to the 19-yard line, 2nd and 13. Browns loosen their pass defense. Audible by Bradshaw. Good protection. No catch. Bolton hit Bleier, and the Steelers are arguing that Bleier was forced out of bounds. Had he been able to come down normally, he would have been in bounds.
Very upset. Chuck Noll not very happy about that call either. Can't blame him. Tough call against him at that point in the game.
The official is ruling here on this play that even if there was no contact, Bleier would not have gotten both feet down. What do you think?
Let's let him look at it at home. Now Bleier catches it very close to the sideline. I think he might have been able to come down inside.
I do too, Merlin.
Let's give you another look at it. It looks to me like he's well inside. The defender drives him to the sideline. Well, we've called some good ones for the officials. We'll question him on one.
3rd and 13 play. And it's broken up by Clarence Scott, number 22. Steeler fans thought he might have interfered, but they could have been guilty looking at that one with their hearts. So Chuck Noll sending in the field goal unit, frustrated on this drive.
Here it is as Lynn Swann is trying to break away from Clarence Scott, and Scott is up around him. I don't know whether he made contact with him before they hit. Swann thought he did. I'm sure that Clarence Scott said, no way, I was right on the money.
Roy Gerela, who was 0 for 4 going into this game, has 2 field goals in 3 attempts. This one would tie it. It's a 36-yard attempt. Good. And with 2:35 left in the game, Each side has connected on 3 field goals. Oh, my. For a no-touchdown game, we've got some real drama going at Three Rivers. And we'll be back.
Samantha Agar for the 1979 color track by RCA.
Remember this
Into another Don Cockcroft field goal try. And look at those Steelers up on the line of scrimmage. 8 men on the line of scrimmage.
Too much time.
Ooh, I don't believe that's a play. That was a delay of game. No, it's a delay of game. 2:09. It's not the 2-minute warning. But the Steeler defense, they're trying to lift a sluggish offense with their spirited play.
There's a little emotion pumping out there right now, Dick.
Oh, get bad news from New York. And again, the injury plague that has been striking NFL quarterbacks has hit the New York Jets' brilliant young quarterback, Richard Todd. We get the report that in Washington, Todd has suffered a broken collarbone.
But it's all just bounce and bounce.
Offense. It's not delay of game, but a false start. The Steelers taking the penalty. Well, they had no choice there. The play was blown dead with the false start. 2nd and 15 at the 33 of Cleveland. Dennis Winston is in for Joe Green, an extra linebacker for the Steelers.
And it looks like they may be coming. Nope. Fake the blitz.
Through a lot of traffic. Oh, Sipe forcing that pass through 4 defenders, trying to find Ozzie Newsome.
Again, trying to go to a money receiver, the young Ozzie Newsome. But Sipe not able to get the ball on target, and there were just too many Steelers there to make anybody happy except the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Crowd chanting defense, defense, and that's what they're getting from their Pittsburgh players. Tony Dungy, number 21, the 5th defensive back, is in.
Dungy has led this Pittsburgh team in interceptions. Has played very little, but has been a surprisingly successful interceptor.
This will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 15. Open is Rucker. Fumble, and Pittsburgh has the ball. Jack Lambert recovers at the Steeler 43. Check that. No, it's Robin Cole who came up with the football.
And they're saying he didn't have it long enough. The official who had called it a fumble is being overruled.
And you see the official saying, no, he did not have possession long enough. Here again, a controversial call. A second look.
The call must be made. How long did he have it in his hand? I think he's probably right. Looked like it just barely had gained control of that ball when it was batted away. Of course, the Steelers very happy about it, but looking at it, pretty good call.
They're going to get the ball anyway because Cleveland's punting unit is on the field at the 2-minute warning. 1:55 left. Here in Pittsburgh, it's a 9-9 tie.
You are looking at a magic means of transportation. New Dodge Magnum XE. A splendid combination of touring car and luxury car. Consider Magnum XE's exciting update of the classic cord-type grille. Inside, a place of sophisticated instrumentation, electronic wizardry, snug, crafted, comfortable. See the new Dodge Magnum XE, a magic means of transportation. 1923.
It's been Cockcroft versus Gerela. Each man has made 3 field goals. 9-9 tie, and we have less than 2 minutes left in regulation play. Evans to kick, Ruder, Shan, and Terry to rookie stand at the Pittsburgh 22. It's his best punt of the day. Whoa, what a kick. Ruder, Shan, fumble, and recovers at the 15-yard line. Oh, my. Ruder Shan, great second reaction to recover his own fumble. The rookie from Pittsburgh grew up here in the Steel City and now playing his pro ball here in Three Rivers. We welcome those of you who are watching the Jet-Washington game. get a final score on that one for those of us who do not know here in Pittsburgh, where it's 9-9. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. All field goals. Cleveland saw Pittsburgh hit the first one. Cleveland led 6-3 at the half, 9-3 after 3. And Roy Gerela's hit 2 here in the fourth quarter. Franco Harris gets 3. Head into the arms of Earl Edwards, number 66.
Fine job by the defense of stringing it out, forcing Franco to run parallel to the line of scrimmage. And then when he had to come back inside, they had great pursuit and were able to tackle him for a short gain.
Time 1:20 left in regulation play. Bradshaw going to the air. Lots of time. Going to be intercepted. Tom Darden has his second interception of the game. Down at the 44, and it's Cleveland's chance to cheer.
Tom Darden has made a couple of great plays for the Browns today, and certainly that was one of the biggest of the day. Bradshaw very unhappy with himself. That was a poor pass, and Terry doesn't usually throw that many poor passes. At least hasn't done in the early going this year. Watch this one. Doesn't seem to be thrown anywhere near Lynn Swann. Had he thrown it deep enough, Swann might have had it. As it was, Tom Darden had it.
Darden's second interception. He has 5 for the season to lead the NFL. Now Cleveland try to get in field goal range for Don Cockcroft. 1:09 left. Cleveland has all 3 timeouts left. Mike Pruitt for the injured Greg Pruitt. No gain. Pruitt, number 43 from Purdue, held in check most of this day by the Pittsburgh tough defense against the run. Dwight White led that charge. Sam Rutigliano's Browns have been one of the surprises of this new NFL year. 48 seconds left. Cockcroft, the most accurate active field goal kicker in the NFL, anticipating a possible game-winning chance. Ozzie Newsome out of bounds at the 36 of Pittsburgh. Still probably outside Cockcroft's range. 37 seconds left.
Interesting to watch the Browns working down that clock. Plenty of time yet to get inside the range of Cockcroft, and I can't think of anyone, Dick, that I would rather have kicking a field goal under a pressure situation than Don Cockcroft.
Veteran from Adams State, who was second in Cleveland history to the immortal Lou Groza. In fact, he joined Cleveland in '67. Groza was still on the team. 37 seconds left. Third and about 2.5. Oh, my. Pruitt dragged down by Jack Lambert. The all-pro. Not only preventing the first down, but taking the Browns out of field goal range. The clock is running. 15-14. We may have seen the last play of regulation. Browns aren't going to kick it unless Pittsburgh calls time. They don't want a chance of a long punt return.
Well, it looks like both teams satisfied to take it into overtime, Nick.
Now time called by Cleveland. So what Sipe is going to do on 4th down, he's going to go for one bomb, maybe a tip play. We'll have that for you when we return.
A winner for me. New Schlitz Light.
There's a new taste in Schlitz Light. The taste of natural ingredients brewed into a Pilsner beer. New Schlitz Light. Still less filling with a taste that's bigger than light. Gentlemen, here's the fast horses.
Schlitz Light, and those who love them.
Schlitz Light. Natural Pilsner beer.
When you want it cut out quick, our brand's the one to pick. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Smart Plus by AC. It'll help you pick up speed, and speed is what you need. You can trust AC. Thanks, AC. Smart Plus by AC. So when you want to go, we're the name to know. You can trust AC. Smart Plus by AC.
Thanks, AC.
2 seconds left. A battle of field goals even. Brian Sipe out of field goal range. We'll look at a Pittsburgh defense who will get many defenders back toward the Steeler goal line. With the new tip rule, we might see a little volleyball attempt at a touchdown on the last play of regulation. He's going to unwind, and here it goes. That's Rucker and Newsom intercepted. Tony Dungy, the 20, the 30. Now he's got running room. 50, finally tackled at the 37-yard line. What an exciting finish of regulation play. Tony Dungy, a specialist in the prevent defense, has his third interception. Took it from the end zone all the way to the Cleveland 37 as the gun sounds, and we're now in a 15-minute overtime. Cleveland has already won once 2 weeks ago. They beat Cincinnati 13-10 in overtime, and a cock-draw field goal in overtime last year beat New England. Pittsburgh has been in only one overtime game ever, and that one ended in a tie, 35 in 1974 against Denver. We'll have the toss of the coin. In this case, would you like to have the ball first or not?
You bet. I want that ball right now. And, of course, the first chance to get it, to move down the field, if you're confident in your offense, you take it either way. Pittsburgh is confident that they've got a good offense and good defense. They'll take it either way. Of course, on the other side of the line, the Browns have played better than Pittsburgh has today. I don't think the toss with these two teams is that critical.
Now Green, Lambert, Davis, the tri-captains for the Steelers, Cockcroft, Irons, Cleo Miller out there for Cleveland. Now Reggie Rucker, 33.
I think Coach Rutigliano, Sipe, felt they had a pretty safe play there. Didn't think there was much risk. Dungy almost turned it around on him. What an exciting way to finish the regular time of the game.
Dungy, a former quarterback at Minnesota and a running quarterback, and almost ran one back more than 100.
He said that one of the reasons he's been so successful on intercepting the ball is because he played quarterback, has a feeling for it. There you see the acceptance of the toss.
Steelers will take the ball from left to right when we return. Overtime coming up in Pittsburgh, where the Browns and Steelers are tied at 9.
Tonight, give that special someone a beautiful rose. Red Rosé, the rose red wine with extraordinary flavor. White wine drinkers like it because it is crisp, light, and very drinkable. But compared to white wine, red rosé has much more character, far more flavor. It is uniquely enjoyable, like a chilled white wine with more flavor. Gallo Red Rosé.
Just an ache. You know, it's just a constant aching.
Thaddeus Golas has a headache.
You're probably not really operating at full potential when you have a headache.
Will you try extra strength Tylenol?
Sure.
Compare regular aspirin, the leading extra ingredient pain reliever, and extra strength Tylenol. Extra strength Tylenol has more medicine.
I feel relieved. Feel good.
What pain reliever would you take next time?
Extra strength Tylenol, I'm sure.
Extra strength Tylenol. It's aspirin free, and you can't buy a more potent pain reliever without a prescription.
I want to. At the end of regulation play, a 9-9 tie will return with sudden death action in a moment after these messages from your local station.
I want to talk to you about a man and woman living together without benefit of marriage.
Grandpa defends swinging singles. Tuesday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain. Karen Grassley stars in Battered, a woman whose perfect life was shattered by one blow.
I don't want to be alone.
Battered, Tuesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Picture yourself in Allegheny County Park's photo contest. Details are available at Park District offices and area businesses. Enter today.
Your Lincoln Mercury dealer announces our Top Cat clearance of 78 Mercury Monarchs and Zephyrs is on. We're clearing out the 78s to make room for the 79s. Now's a great time to get into a 78 Monarch because we're ready to sell. Or a 78 Zephyr, our newest Mercury. It's ready to go now. Top Cat values and trades. Our 78s must go. Make tracks to your Lincoln Mercury dealer.
You son of a gun. Everybody knew we were getting a new car. But we figured for a few dollars more, why not get what we really wanted? So I went to HFC, got the extra I needed, and today we're driving what some people only dream about.
You son of a gun.
Would I borrow from HFC again? Next year when we go to Alaska.
Alaska?
Household Finance, where people use our money to get the most out of life.
11 alive.
The Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers, the only two unbeaten teams in the AFC, both reluctant to accept that first loss, are in overtime. Sudden death, any score, safety, field goal, touchdown, it's over. Cockcroft kicks it off. That's the rookie Larry Anderson at the 11-yard line. Good coverage by Cleveland. Fumble! Cleveland recovers at the 25-yard line. Anderson's second fumble is covered by Ricky Feature, the wide receiver from Mississippi Valley. Unless they're going to rule that that ball was already down. No, it's Cleveland's ball. The hit was made by Dave Graff, number 55. And no, they say that this is not a fumble. Oh, my.
Let's give you a look at it at home. Anderson loses his feet and touched the ground, but obviously up. A matter of whether you want to say he was down because of a hit.
That's a fumble, Merlin. He was back on his feet. The Browns thought they had the ball. We'll see how important that call is. Pittsburgh retains possession at the 21-yard line. We welcome those that have been watching the Redskins and Jets. We'll keep you posted on that game. Washington leading 23-3. Franco Harris can't get outside, comes inside for short yardage. Watch again. Unless the whistle blew that play dead, there is no way that that would not be ruled a fumble, as Anderson had gotten down but got back up.
Watch him. He slips on his own feet. He goes to the ground there.
No contact.
No contact. He's up, and he fumbles as he's off the ground. Very tough. Boy, I tell you, if I'm a Cleveland Brown fan, I got to be upset.
Of course, the officials can't see it in slow motion. That happened much quicker down on the field. Second down and 7. Bradshaw being chased by Edwards. Has a man open. Stallworth, first down at the Cleveland 40-yard line. Make that the Pittsburgh 40.
Coach Retigliano told us early, he said we've got to keep Bradshaw in the pocket. He does the most damage when he runs out of there. Looks like he planned to get out of there. Getting great pressure from Turkey Jones. Comes over to this side and does what I think is the toughest thing for a quarterback to do. Throws to his left when he's running left. And boy, he puts it right on the money. Stallworth catches it inbounds, pays the price as he's knocked out of bounds.
First down, Pittsburgh at the 40. It appeared that Cockcroft and the Browns were in easy field goal range of the fumble. No fumble, and now it's Pittsburgh driving. Bleier gets 4, maybe 5. Former Notre Dame star, 16th round draft pick of Frank Merriwell's story. And his story is going to be in your motion picture house sometime early next year, as they will do his book, Fighting Back, into a motion picture. And it's a story almost hard to believe.
Almost too good to be true.
But what he is as a player and an athlete, almost too good to be true.
He's one great human being, too, Dick.
Second down and 5. Bleier and Harris split behind Bradshaw. Bleier finds a hole and close to a first down at midfield. For Edwards and Hall can collaborate on the stop. We're in the 15-minute sudden death. 13:20 left. Cleveland and Pittsburgh tied at 9. Pittsburgh with a kickoff to start the overtime period. An apparent fumble ruled no fumble. Pittsburgh maintained possession. Randy Grossman, number 84 in the ball game for the Steelers at tight end.
They've gone to short yardage offense with just a little over a yard to go on this one.
And Bradshaw going to throw. He short hops it, incomplete. Oh, an interesting call. The Steelers apparently want to go for the bundle. Instead, Bradshaw pressured out of the pocket, throws short, and now will the Steelers punt? The crowd wants them to go for it.
How would you like to have to call that one?
I've got to punt it.
Well, you punt yours. They're going to run theirs.
That's why they won't let me near the field.
Boy, that's a vote of confidence to an offense. Let's see what they do with it.
Meanwhile, in the nation's capital, the Redskins still lead the Jets 23-3. This is Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, 4th and 1. Harris. I believe that second effort, he lunged forward for the first down. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. We're in sudden death overtime. 12:47 left in this 15-minute period. Cleveland and Pittsburgh, a battle of field goals. 3-0 Pittsburgh in the first period. Then Cleveland got 2 in the second, another in the third. But Roy Gerela tied it with a pair of field goals in the fourth quarter. We've had some very interesting calls. It's been a tough game for the officials, a very physical game, and some borderline calls, and I don't think either side is very happy at this point.
Very emotional game, too. A lot of penalties. I don't think I've ever seen a team hurt worse by penalties than Pittsburgh has hurt themselves in this one. And I think the great surprise to those of you who've watched the game all the way through has been the strength of this Cleveland team. The Browns have played well offensively and defensively, and it has not been an outstanding day at all for Pittsburgh. Until late in the fourth quarter, it looked like it was the Browns game all the way.
Easily a first down. So the gamble pays off. At the Cleveland 49-yard line, Franco Harris again. He's been the bull in the backfield for Pittsburgh. 84 yards rushing, only 24 of those in the first half. Redskins leading the Jets 23-3 fourth quarter. We're going to stay with the action here in overtime, and Bradshaw to throw. Lynn Swann, first down at the 38-yard line of Cleveland, and now the Steelers are within a first down of a game-winning field goal. Clarence Scott made the tackle.
Bradshaw back. He throws this one back against the grain. He looks to his left, looks to the defender's off, and zips it. It's a strong throw. That's one of the things he does better than just about any quarterback in football. Powerful arm, gets it to his favorite receiver, Lynn Swann.
And he's been the top catcher in the game with those 6.
He got 6 in both the games last year against Cleveland, too, Dick.
Rocky Bleier tripped up, short yardage at the 36-yard line. The play was made by number 64, Joe Jones. And I would guess the mouths of Rutigliano and his counterpart, Noel, are a little dry at this point. For those of you who have been watching NFL 78, we return you to New York. The Steelers break huddle, 2nd and 9 at the 37-yard line. A reverse to Swann, a flea-flicker, and it's Bradshaw to Cunningham. Touchdown! And they're shaking Three Rivers Stadium right off its foundation. The old flea-flicker, and Bradshaw hits his 6'5" tight end Cunningham. The Steelers win 15-9. The only touchdown of a four-quarter plus game comes on a most unusual play, and Sam Rutigliano and Chuck Noel, they both gambled throughout this afternoon, and finally the big one pays off for Pittsburgh. Welcome back, NFL 78. We've just seen a spectacular game-winning touchdown, a fake reverse lateral to Bradshaw, who hit Benny Cunningham for a touchdown to win the game in overtime. Here it is.
Terry Bradshaw, unafraid to go to something as tricky as a flea-flicker. Hands it off to Bleier. Bleier will hand it off again, and then they'll drop it back to Bradshaw. Bradshaw took a quick look downfield, saw Cunningham getting open. Cunningham just showing his great speed downfield, and Bradshaw, the strength of his arm. That ball had to be 60 yards in the air, Dick, and right on the money. Had it not been there, they may have knocked it away. But what a way to win a game. What a way to end it all.
A spectacular game-winning score, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are now the only unbeaten team in the AFC as they defeat the Browns in overtime, 15-9. But to the credit of that Cleveland ball club, they played excellent football all day, and indeed, statistically, through 4 quarters, were the better team.
It's a brutal loss. Has to be a brutal loss for them. They played so well throughout the game. And there's no question that I'm sure they'll go home and look at the films and say, hey, we deserve to win that game. We deserve to win it. 2 touchdown passes dropped on Sipe, or not dropped, but called back on Sipe. And had they had either one of those, of course, they would have won in regulation time. But Pittsburgh doing what they must do if they're going to be a championship team again. And we say again because they had a disappointing year last year. Here they are winning a game that it looked like they shouldn't win. But that's what the champions do, Dick.
And for Benny Cunningham, the third-year tight end from Clemson, a moment he'll never forget, as he, the biggest man, biggest receiver in this game, and the biggest tight end in pro football, running a good pattern, and to Bradshaw's credit, as you pointed out, and perhaps we could see that throw one more time. I'm sure we will on NFL 78, the post-game report with all the scores. Cunningham in stride, catching that ball for a dramatic win here in Pittsburgh.
Let's look back at a play that might have been equally important as that touchdown pass. On the very first play of the game, of the overtime period, that's Larry Anderson carrying the ball. Now he's going to break upfield, slip and fall. Now he's going to get back up off the ground and be hit at the same time. The ball is declared down and dead at that point. I'm sure the Cleveland Brown fans will be saying it's a fumble.
And that's the story from Three Rivers Stadium. It ends in a spectacular touchdown and in controversy. The executive producer of NBC's NFL Football, Don Ohlmeyer. The telecast today's game. Great job, gentlemen. Produced by Michael Weissman. Directed by Ken Fountain. Technical Director Horace Ruiz. Associate Director Randy Wands. Next Saturday, starting at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, Game of the Week. Baseball. The hot New York Yankees face the Cleveland Indians. Philadelphia Phillies are at Pittsburgh. They'll fight the Pirates in the National League Eastern race. Or you'll see the Toronto Blue Jays at Boston's Fenway Park. And then next Sunday, NFL football. Game of interest in your area. Check your local listing. And now stay tuned for the Sperry NFL report following these messages from your local station.